Alright guys, welcome to the stream. We have the 2021 US Grand Prix today, and it's going to be a very exciting race indeed. Lots to look forward to. We have Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton starting alongside each other, which is probably going to be the most exciting thing all for the entirety of the race. We're going to have battles between the two drivers, pit stop strategies, and we'll see which team wins out in the end. Hello, Rasol Archipelago 23. We've nearly got 200 people watching, and the stream hasn't. I just started streaming, so if you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do that. Because I think I told you guys to hit the like button yesterday, to boost it in the algorithm, and it definitely worked because we've got 200 people before the stream even started, which is very cool. But anyway, so we've got a lot to talk about. So the main things to watch for today's race are going to be Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton obviously having their battle out at the front. Then we have the two McLarens and the two Ferraris alongside each other. And that is going to be very interesting to watch, especially for third place in the constructors. It's £6 million, not 6 million euros, I think. Yeah, so €6 million for getting third place over fourth place. So definitely think that these two teams will be fighting very hard indeed for that €6 million. Manuel Fernandez, I will not be doing a face reveal. If loads of you guys ask for it, then I might do a setup tour, but I don't think I'm going to do a face reveal, so there's that. And yeah, alright then. So the battle at the front, then we got the Ferraris and the McLarens having their little battle. Then we have Valtteri Bottas starting in 9th placed. Not the Ferraris. The Mercedes have had overheating issues. The tyres have been overheating all weekend round, and we know that the Mercedes struggles a lot in dirty air. And Valtteri Bottas also struggles in the dirty air. So Bottas is currently in 9th place, and he will have to try and make his way past Pierre Gasly and then the two McLarens and the Ferraris, which is going to be very difficult. Because, well, the McLarens and Ferraris are very quick indeed. So, yeah, it's going to be tough for Valtteri Bottas to make his way through the field back up to the top 4, but we'll see if he can do it. There are 30 minutes left till the race begins. Well, 27 minutes, in fact, till the race begins. And yeah. All right. And then the other things to look out for is we have Vettel, Alonso and Russell all starting out with an engine penalty right at the back of the grid. Vettel, Alonso and Russell in 18th, 19th and 20th place respectively. So we're going to see a lot of overtaking from those guys, especially Vettel and Alonso making their way through the field. That's going to be interesting to watch, and lots of overtaking to look forward to as well, because this circuit, it's quite easy to overtake around. You got the long straight at turn 1, and then you got the long straight going down to turn 12 as well. Both of them have DRS, and then turn 15, turn 13, 14, 15, 16 are all they're in such a sequence that it makes it very easy to overtake, because you've got loads of different lines that you can take into the corner and loads of different overtaking opportunities. So lots to look forward to in the upcoming 2 hours of racing that we will have. And then I will let you know when we get some team radios and stuff coming through. The drivers are currently on the grid. We have team radio from Sergio Perez. So let's play this. Here we go. There we are.
So test your drink.
It doesn't stop leaking. I will need to change the balaclava. It's leaking a lot.
Yep, so Sergio Perez's drink is leaking. It's all over his balaclava. So they're going to have to fix that, because don't want a leaky drink and a completely wet helmet sort of thing. So the Red Bull are going to have to fix that. Lando Norris has just said it's nice to be back in America with all the fans. It's going to be epic. So Lando Norris, looking forward to this race. Unfortunately got out-qualified by Ricciardo. That does not happen often. But here we are then. So let's see. The predicted race strategies for today's race is the quickest race strategy, according to Pirelli, are going to be going on the mediums and then onto the hards and then the hards again, or the mediums, then the hards, and then the mediums. And then the other alternative strategy will start on the softs, go onto the hards and go onto the hards again. And then the slowest strategy of them all is a medium to a hard one stop. So, by the looks of it, everyone's going to be going for a two-stop race because Pirelli say one stop is the slowest strategy of them all. You lose 20 seconds when you go for a pit stop, and you lose 12 seconds if there's a virtual safety car or a full safety car. And you're asking for some stats. So if that stat holds true, then Lewis Hamilton will also be winning today's race. But Max Verstappen is known to ruin a lot of Lewis's stats. So we'll see if Max Verstappen can deny Lewis Hamilton of his of continuing that stat. But Max Verstappen also has a 44% chance of winning because he's on pole position. Max Verstappen has just said, I will have to give it everything. We've got to try and win the race. I just have to focus on myself. I don't expect it to be an easy race. So, yeah, Verstappen does not think it's going to be easy, especially with Hamilton right alongside him. He does have one advantage, though. He'll be starting 4 meters ahead of Hamilton and also on the clean side of the grid. Because the right side of the grid is the clean side, because all of the drivers drive over it when they're doing their normal laps, whereas the left-hand side, it's dirty, it's full of rubber. So, yeah, Max Verstappen has that advantage at the start of the race, and yeah, will we see a 2015 Rosberg versus Hamilton at turn 1 with Perez? We've all seen the memes where we're saying Perez is going to crash into Hamilton and just knock him out of the race completely, but I don't think that's going to happen. And yeah, I mean, we'll all love to see it happen. The Max Verstappen fans will love to see it happen. So yeah, but don't think it will happen because it would be very suspicious if that were to happen. But here we are. All right, 22 minutes till the race starts. And yeah, so if you guys have any other questions in the chat, then be sure to let me know. I'm going to be replying to all of the stuff in the chat now. So yeah, should you see 2 laps side by side and see how much Lewis gains on the straights? I did in fact check. So Lewis Hamilton gained only around a tenth on the straight compared to Max Verstappen in qualifying yesterday. But because it was qualifying, he had DRS open, and in the race he won't have DRS open, or at least he might not. So usually the difference is a lot bigger when DRS is closed. But yesterday he only gained 1/10 of a second on Max Verstappen when going down the straight. So yeah, Red Bull have decreased the top speed deficit to Mercedes. We'll see if that actually pays off and Max Verstappen can hold off Lewis Hamilton when he obviously has the DRS and the slipstream going down into turn 12. And yeah. Alright guys, if you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do so. And if you haven't subscribed, be sure to do that as well. I stream every single F1 race and qualifying session. And yeah. Alrighty. 20 minutes now till the race starts. Isn't that active suspension? It is not. So I explained this yesterday, but I think I can explain it a bit better now. So when going down the straight, the quicker you go, the more downforce you get on the rear wing. And then the Mercedes, they've done this thing on their suspension where once you get a certain amount of downforce on the rear wing, the whole suspension sort of drops, and then you get a lot of drag reduction. So that's not active suspension because it is controlled. It only happens because of the downforce in the car. It's only caused by the downforce. It's not caused by the driver pressing a certain button on their steering wheel. So that's why it's legal. Yeah. My predictions for the top 3 in the Grand Prix today will be Verstappen, Hamilton, and Charles Leclerc. Yeah, that's my prediction. We'll wait and see what happens. I don't think Perez will have the pace today. He'll sort of get dropped off by, I think, well, Leclerc will make a move into turn 1 and overtake Perez. That's what I think. And also Sam Duo Nung or something. Don't spam the exact same comment in the chat because, well, I've seen it about 4 times already. So, yeah. All right. Valtteri Bottas has just said, I'll try and make the most out of it. Always looking at things with the most optimism. Turn 1 turn 1 at the start is a good place, and the back straight is the best opportunity to overtake. Being patient can always pay off. It's a long race ahead. So Bottas is trying to be optimistic. I think that's all he can do, really, because the Mercedes really does struggle in that dirty air. We'll find out what happens, though. Alrighty. Lewis Hamilton has just said, Lewis Hamilton just got interviewed while he was working out and said, the start is definitely an opportunity, but it's a long race. The cloud cover makes it a bit better with the tyres. Keeping the Red Bulls will be a challenge, but I'll give it absolutely everything. So, yeah, track temperatures are 3 degrees lower than they were yesterday, and even the 3-degree temperature difference is going to help a lot with the overheating tyres. In fact, it's just gone up to 36 degrees. It currently says 35. I need to change that. But yeah, 36 degrees track temp, and the clouds definitely helping as well. So hope there's not as much overheating issues in the Mercedes, and we'll see a good battle between Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. But in terms of the championship, I'm pretty sure there's like 2 points in between the two drivers, which is a lot closer than we've had in all previous years. I think we have to go back all the way till 2012 to get something as close as this. And yeah, just very, very exciting indeed. All right, then. Hello, Mystery Machine. Bottas has another engine penalty, and the reason for that is, well, there have been rumours. We don't have a particular reason yet because Mercedes won't tell us, but because Red Bull are so quick, Mercedes have decided, okay, we're going to run the engine a bit harder and try and get as much performance as possible. So, because they're running the engine harder, they're sort of wearing it out quicker, and also there are like miniature cracks that are forming inside of the engine, so like in the pistons and in the cylinders. So these miniature cracks, which are like 1 millimeters big, they can't fix them because they're so small. So that's why they have to keep on getting new engines, and yeah. Usually you're only allowed 3 engines in a season without getting a penalty, and Bottas is now on his 6th engine, so he's doubled the amount of allowed engines in the entire season. So definitely not that good in terms of engine reliability this season, Mercedes, compared to all previous years of the turbo hybrid era. But yeah. All right, Seb Vettel has just said, turn 12 will be the best spot for overtaking. I think today will be quite warm, expecting the sun to come out, and then, yeah, it'll be a difficult race on the tyres. So everyone's expecting it to be a pretty tough race on those tyres, and with the especially, well, the whole of Sector 1 is very, very high speed indeed, and wears out the tyres a lot, and so is turn 16, 17, 18, all massive long right-hander. So that is very much of the reason why we have loads of tyre issues here, but that also does mean we get a 2-stop race, which makes everything all the more exciting, and yeah, looking forward to it. All right, now there's only 15 minutes left till lights out. All of the drivers are currently on the grid, so they're just getting the final checks done on their engines and stuff, engine, suspension, brakes, before they go out on the formation lap. Yeah. Sergio's water bottle is leaking. Yep. I think they would have fixed it by now, but yeah. Why is Mercedes allowed to change engines? Oh, the cost cap is only coming in next year, so they can change it. They can change the engine as many times as they want this year, but next year they cannot do that. So that's what it is right now. Yeah. Alrighty. This this guy has the best voice, but definitely looks American. I mean, you have no idea how I look, so but it's cool. I guess I have the best voice. Thanks. Alrighty. What else is there to talk about? I've sort of gone through everything so quickly. Um, Further down the field, we have Gasly and Tsunoda, both of the drivers. It's been a very long time, in fact, since Gasly and Tsunoda have been together. It's usually Gasly up in sixth place and Tsunoda maybe down in 12th or 13th. So it'll be good to see a correct representation of like where these two guys' race pace is, because Tsunoda might not have the AlphaTauri seat for next year. I don't think it is. Oh no, it is confirmed. Never mind. But Tsunoda still needs to prove that he's a good driver, and he has to keep up with Pierre Gasly, because we all know Pierre Gasly's he's got amazing pace, especially this season being definitely like very on form. So if Yuki Tsunoda can keep up with Pierre Gasly, that will be very good for his Formula One career, really. Do you think Tsunoda's overrated? I don't think so. I think at the start of the season, he was overrated. Everyone was hyping up like he's going to be the next Seb Vettel. But I think that was only because of his first race. He just performed so well, because what happened was we were testing in Bahrain, and then the first race was also in Bahrain. So instead of having just 3 practice sessions to practice at Bahrain, he had 3 full days of testing. Oh no, 1.5 days of testing, and then also 3 practice sessions. So that's why Yuki Tsunoda was so good at the first race, because he just had loads of practice and experience in the F1 car. But now, of course, just 3 practice sessions. So he's he's still quick, but not as quick as everyone thought he would be at the start of the season. The race starts in 12 minutes time, and yeah, you predict Verstappen, Perez, and Hamilton, with Russell in the points. Well, everyone has been talking about how difficult the tyres are, and Sergio Perez is, well, very, very good on managing his tyres and his and on all of the overheating stuff. So we'll see if Perez can maybe get an advantage over Lewis Hamilton, because I think Perez is one of the best at managing tyres. So maybe that will help him out in the race in terms of strategy. Who knows? Do you think Perez can overtake Hamilton to turn 1? I think he definitely can, because Perez is on the clean side of the grid, Hamilton's on the dirty side of the grid. So that will not be helping him out. But Hamilton does have the inside line, Perez has the outside line. So if Max Verstappen pinches Lewis Hamilton and squeezes him right to the inside, and then Sergio Perez could also swoop around the outside, and so could Max Verstappen. But there are so many different permutations of what could happen at the start of a Formula One race. There could be maybe Verstappen gets a good start, or Hamilton gets a good start, or Verstappen gets a bad start. We literally cannot predict every single situation. And that's why we love Formula One. It's so completely unpredictable. And yeah. Right, I wish something... Alright. Do you think Hamilton might win? Well, he is starting in second place, and he does have his record of every single time he started in second place in the USA. He has gone on to win the race. So that stat is going for him. And yeah. Alright guys, if you haven't hit the like button yet, be sure to do so. Maybe we could hit 250 likes before the race even starts. And yeah, more likes means more viewers and more people in the chat, which is better for everyone, really. And yeah. Alright then, 10 minutes left. The drivers will be they'll have their helmets on and getting probably be strapped into their cars now, and the formation lap will be beginning very, very soon. And I'll let you know what tyres everyone is starting on as well, because that's going to be pretty important further down the field, below the top 10, because that'll play a major part in the strategy. And yeah. Do you think Mazepin has a chance to win? I don't think he does. What are your predictions for the championship? Well, the championship, I want Max Verstappen to win. But there's 5 races left, and there's 2 points in between the 2 drivers, so it's practically impossible to call. And yeah. Okay. Right, 1,000 viewers already. Very, very cool. I'm gonna have a bit of a. I'm gonna drink some water, otherwise my throat is gonna start hurting later into the race. All right. Who do you think is going to finish third in the constructors, Ferrari or McLaren? Well, both Ferraris are starting ahead of both McLarens today, but the Constructors' Championship, the McLarens are 8 points ahead of, well, 7.5 points ahead of Ferrari. So it's very tight indeed. And I think whoever gets like if any of the teams have an off weekend, so say if McLaren have a really bad weekend and they finish like 9th and in 13th or something, then whichever team doesn't have that will get third place, really, because it's so tight for them. And yeah. All right then. Gasly is practicing reflexes. Yes, I actually saw Gasly. I saw one of like a TikTok or something on Gasly's reflexes. He got his like personal trainer dropped a tennis ball, and Pierre Gasly has his hand above above the tennis ball, and then catches it before the tennis ball even reaches the ground. So yeah, Pierre Gasly's reflexes are on point, but I also think once you get all of the adrenaline for a Formula One race start, your reaction times go down anyway. So yeah, is there a chance that Hamilton could get sandwiched by the Red Bulls? There is definitely a chance Hamilton could get sandwiched by the Red Bulls. And yeah. All right. Why is Vettel so low? Vettel has an engine penalty, so that is why he is down in 18th place. Do you see Lando climbing some position stays, performing well in some of the recent places? Yeah. I definitely think Lando. Well, the McLarens have more top speed than the Ferraris. So when they have DRS and slipstream, it's going to be very, very well. It's going to be very easy for them to make the overtake on the Ferraris. So I think Norris will make up some positions as well. There could definitely be a massive crash at turn 1, like there was in Hungary. Maybe Perez or Leclerc brakes too late, and then Verstappen and Hamilton crash into each other, and so does Leclerc. Who has any idea what's going to happen? All right. Do you think Verstappen and Hamilton are going to collide at turn 1? Well, I was going to ask you guys that question. I'm going to make a poll on what is going to happen at turn 1, and then what is going to happen at turn 1. Will Verstappen be in the lead? Verstappen in the lead. Will Hamilton be in the lead? Yeah, I'm not actually that quick at typing, so will Hamilton in the lead. Both crash into each other. Or one goes into a spin. All right, there we go. You can vote in that poll now. It should pop up any second. And all right then. Race starting in now 6 minutes times. We'll find out what tires everyone's on in, I think, 1 minute, in fact. All right then. The tire compounds are the usual C2, C3, C4, if anyone was wondering. And Christian Horn has just said we need both guys to get a good start, get around the first lap, and then get stuck in. So yeah. AlphaTauri have managed to fix Pierre Gasly's car. Pierre Gasly had a sensor issue, so he wasn't going to start the race before, but he will now because they fixed it. So that's looking good for them. We have team radio from Kimi Räikkönen. Let's play this. Here we go.
Yeah, I don't know about if we should stay with the front wing or go up as we said.
Yep, so Kimi Räikkönen just deciding which front wing setting to go with, because if you have too much front wing, then going later into the race, you'll get a lot of oversteer. And if you have too little front wing, then your front tyres wear out way too quickly. So it's a fine balance that Kimi Räikkönen needs to pick. Pierre Garcia has just said it's a very difficult track, very bumpy. Starting 8th, everything is possible from there. We're not a lot slower than Ferrari and McLaren, and it's tight between the 1 and 2 stop. So, yeah, is it possible to see Merck starting on the softs and hope with early racing? The Mercs will be, both of them will be starting on the mediums because they both got into Q3 on the medium tyres. So both of them are going to be starting on the mediums, both Mercedes. And yeah, this is it then. Thanks for doing this so people can follow the race. F1 TV isn't available here. Sky Sports is a rip-off. Really useful. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. Race starting now in 4 minutes time. If you haven't hit the like button or subscribed, be sure to do so. Very much will help out the channel, and I will let you know what tyres everyone is on in a sec. And also the stream is just, the data is just reloading, so it's not broken or anything. I'm just refreshing the website. All right, there we go. Okay, do you think Charles Leclerc has a chance to win? Don't think so. The risk of rain is 0%, and yeah, just blue skies with some clouds. The sky is currently not the sky. The clouds are currently blocking the sun, so that's going to help with the tires. But we'll find out what happens. Yes. Kieran James, nice chat message. All right, we have team radio from Max Verstappen. Let's play this. Here we go.
Okay, formation lap procedure. So same mode 12 for the yellow grid launch and the rest of the formation lap. Pit limiter can be off and the 75.5 stars on the ground.
Yeah, so that's a very odd team radio. It sounds really weird, but they were just telling Max Verstappen all the start procedures. But welcome along to the 2021 US Grand Prix in Austin, round number 17 of 22 in the Formula One World Championship. The Circuit of the Americas is one of 7 anti-clockwise circuits on the 2021 calendar. Most other circuits are clockwise. And in 2019, the US Grand Prix was 3rd place in on-track overtakes. There were 53 on-track overtakes in 2019, which was the last US Grand Prix. So there's a lot of action to look forward to today. And yeah, just cannot wait. We'll find out what tyres everyone is on in just a second now. All right, the tyres are... Okay, so Sainz and Tsunoda are starting on the softs and everyone else is on the mediums. It's 20 corner circuit, turn 1, there's going to be a lot of excitement going down into there on lap number 1. Turn number 12 is the other major overtaking zone around this lap. Turn 9 and turn 19 will have track limits still enforced, so if you do go over track limits 3 times, you will get a 5-second time penalty. And yeah, need to watch out for that. Make sure you don't get a 5-second time penalty because that will really screw up your race. And then turns 16, 17 and 18 really do screw up your left front and left rear tyres. So tyre management is also going to be key. We have the Pirelli C2, C3 and C4 as the soft, medium and hards. And we will find out what strategies the teams go for. Looks like all of the soft tyre runners will go for a 2-stop, but Pierre Gasly has just gone on the radio and said, has said in an interview that the 1-stop and the 2-stop are very, very close. But the starting grid today is Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, the 2 championship rivals, lining up alongside each other. 3rd and 4th place is Perez and Leclerc. 5th and 6th is Sainz and Ricciardo. 7th and 8th, Norris and Gasly. Gasly looking up to make a lot of places today. Bottas with his engine penalty in 9th, starting alongside Yuki Tsunoda on the softs. Ocon and Giovinazzi in 11th and 12th. Good qualifying from Giovinazzi. And then we in 13th and 14th, Lance Stroll and Nicolas Latifi, the 2 Canadians alongside each other. 15th and 16th, Raikkonen and Schumacher. And then 17th and 18th, Mazepin and Vettel, Alonso and Russell all have engine penalties. And to round out the grid is Alonso and Russell. All right, guys. So this is it. 2021 Formula One Grand Prix. American Grand Prix. I am so not on it today. All right, everyone is on the formation lap now. As you guys, they won't show up on the map just yet, but all of the speeds have gone up, and everyone is currently on their formation lap now, just warming up the tires, going through the gears, the correct clutch settings and everything. We have team radio from Fernando Alonso. Let's play this. Here we go.
Okay, so start like usual on minus. One thing we notice is wind has increased slightly. That's what's forecasted. Direction is still the same.
All right, so it's just the same as all of the team radios, just correct clutch positions, and the wind has increased slightly. So the wind right now is 1 meter per second. I don't know exactly what that is in kilometers per second, kilometers per hour, sorry. But you get a tailwind going into turn number 1 and a headwind going into turn number 12. So turn number 12, you can get a lot of late braking, and yeah, we'll find out what happens. Did Ferrari leapfrog McLaren in the performance somehow? It very much varies track to track, so sometimes Ferrari quicker, sometimes McLaren are. But thank you for the donation, DCS Beamer, the 35, I think it's, I'm not exactly sure what currency it is. I think it's South African Rand, I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, 3.6 kilometers an hour, sorry. So the wind has slightly picked up. It's really not that quick though, so it looks all right. And thanks for the conversion, Noijun, Hung Dung, and Dragon Stack. I can't even say your name, sorry. But this is it now. They're in the final third sector of the formation lap. I need to change the stream title to the race has started, because it's going to start in like 2 minutes now, and I won't have time once the race starts. Race started. All right, here we go. So this is it. All of the drivers now going up and lining up on their grid positions. Max Verstappen now on the start-finish straight. Will have as much tire temperature as he needs to go into turn 1. Turn 1 is an uphill braking zone, so you can brake a lot later than usual. It's usually 70 meters is the braking zone, but and usually it's 100 meters, but now it's 70 meters. And yeah, just looking forward to this race then. The Constructors' Championship, there are 30 points between McLaren and Red Bull. So Red Bull will be trying to recruit that the gap between the two teams and try and close up the distance between Mercedes and Red Bull in the Constructors. And then this is it now. Formation lap is basically finished. I need to have a drink, and then the race will start in about 30 seconds. All right. If you haven't hit that like button, be sure to do so. Now just the final 10 cars coming up onto their grid positions, and then we will have lights out in a matter of seconds. Alrighty. There are 56 laps in total, guys. And yeah, most likely a 2-stop race. But we'll find out and see what happens then. Okie doke, so here it is. George Russell has lined up on his grid positions. Everyone is revving up their engines, and it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights, and lights out, and away we go. Hamilton gets an absolutely amazing start, quicker than Verstappen off the line. He still has to make up. He is alongside Verstappen, in fact, going into turn 1. Both of them going uphill now, trying to brake as late as possible. Who will brake later? Hamilton does have the lead. Verstappen loses the position to Hamilton, and then Stroll has lost loads of positions. Stroll and Latifi both losing 6 positions, tangling at the start of the race, but Hamilton has taken the lead off Max Verstappen. Verstappen now in second place, and trying to stay within DRS, because that's going to be the most important thing for him in the entire race. George Russell gaining 5 positions on the opening lap, absolute overtaking masterclass from him right from the get-go. Vettel is up 2 positions, Tsunoda's up 2, the Ferraris and the McLaren stay put, but the battle at the front, Hamilton has got the lead over Max Verstappen. All right, going now down the back straight. Verstappen will have the slipstream, and there's no DRS just yet, but he will be gaining down that straight. We'll check the top speeds that everyone gets going down the straight. Hamilton is going 300 kilometers an hour. Max Verstappen going 290. So Mercedes still hold a top speed advantage, or around about 10 kilometers an hour. Sorry. between the two drivers. So Norris just makes up a position on Danny Rick going down into turn 12. So good overtake from Lando Norris. Overtook his teammate, did not have a crash. But Ricciardo has fought him right back and made up another position. And Ricciardo, in fact, gets past Carlos Sainz. So very good middle sector for Daniel Ricciardo. Lots of slipstream helping him out. And now he's up into 5th place, chasing down Charles Leclerc. But at the front, Hamilton has extended the gap by 1.1 seconds. So Verstappen will have to catch up if he wants to get DRS when it does activate in 2 laps time. We have team radio from Lance Stroll. Mazepin has gone into the pit, so Mazepin must have had an issue and has crashed out somewhere else, but Stroll has caught up to the back of everyone else, but he did lose 6 places on the opening lap, so he won't be happy over this team radio.
We got hit from behind.
Copy.
Check damage.
Yep, so Stroll got hit from behind, and the battle between the McLarens and the Ferraris, Daniel Ricciardo just went right. It was 3 wide going into turn 12. Absolutely epic racing there. And Ricciardo is up into 5th place, and a mega tussle between the McLarens and the Ferraris, and we'll hope to see more of that go throughout the rest of this race now. 7 tenths is the drivers between Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton, and Verstappen is gaining down this straight. He's not close enough just yet, but maybe 1 or 2 more laps time and some DRS assistance, and we will have a lot of battling going on between Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. Perez is sort of going to be in a no man's land, with Hamilton and Verstappen sort of checking out already, and Leclerc and Ricciardo already falling behind. Perez is going to be stuck in a no man's land 3rd position. Bottas yet to gain a position, still in 9th place. That Mercedes is going to have some overheating issues in very, very soon, so he's going to have to get a move on if he wants to get past Tsunoda and help Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship. Alrighty then, Max Verstappen gets the fastest lap, 2.5 tenths quicker than Lewis Hamilton. So Verstappen definitely does have the pace. We'll see if he decides to make the overtake or lets the strategy team do it for him. Everyone that's just tuned in to the stream, be sure to like and subscribe. Very much does help out the channel. And yeah, alright, we've got team radio from Esteban Ocon. Let's play this. Here we go. Yep, so it looks like Ocon had a bit of a collision with someone, or, well, got very, very close to overtaking someone. So, yeah, Ocon's car is fine. He's still maintaining his 13th place. In fact, Pierre Gasly has just overtaken Valtteri Bottas going into turn number 1. So Valtteri Bottas, instead of going further up the grid, is now going further down the grid. So it's not looking good for Valtteri Bottas. Max Verstappen once again another purple first sector, and once DRS is enabled, Lewis Hamilton's going to have to check his mirrors going down the straights, because Max Verstappen is coming at him at a rate of knots, really. 6 tenths now between the two drivers, and the dirty air will not be helping Max Verstappen, but it looks like he has the pace to overcome the dirty air. We have team radio from Valtteri Bottas. Let's listen to this.
Okay, Valtteri, we need to give the position back to Gasly. We need to do it now, otherwise we're going to get a penalty.
Yeah, so it looks like Bottas might have pushed off Pierre Gasly when defending against him. So that is why he had to give the position back to him. So this is it now. DRS will be enabled on this lap. 8 tenths is the gap between Verstappen and Hamilton, and DRS and Verstappen is within the DRS zone. So it's looking good. Sergio Perez sets the fastest 3rd sector. Once again, as always, managing his tyres very, very well. And Max Verstappen Max Verstappen is quicker than Lewis Hamilton going down the straight, because he does have the toe, and an absolutely crazy top speed from Lance Stroll, 343 kilometers an hour from Lance Stroll. So absolutely blistering pace going down that straight for the Aston Martin with the slipstream. Looks like he'd got a double or a triple toe. But now going through the start of the 2nd sector, Verstappen is within the DRS zone, and looks like he will get the DRS detection point for the back straight, which is the all-important DRS zone. Going to turn number 10 now, Hamilton will try and get a best exit as possible, but Verstappen will have the DRS and the slipstream going down the straight, and we'll see what happens there. All right. So going down the straight, Max Verstappen is significantly quicker than Lewis Hamilton. In fact, breaking his own top speed record in the process, but still not close enough this lap to make the overtake. Russell has made up 5 positions on the opening lap and once again goes another position. Esteban Ocon is out of this race. Oh, Esteban Ocon has just gone into the pit, sorry. I think he had a front wing issue, so had to change his front wing. But on the race start, Max Verstappen was 4.9 seconds. It took him 4.9 seconds to reach 200 kilometers an hour, and it took Lewis Hamilton 4.77 seconds to reach 200 kilometers an hour. So it was very, very close. And that tiny little margin of 0.13 seconds gave Lewis Hamilton the lead at the start of the race. So that just shows you how crucial the race start is and how close it is between all of the drivers. Hamilton retakes the fastest lap of the race away from Max Verstappen, but Verstappen is closer than ever now, 7 tenths between the two drivers, and Russell has gained 7 positions in 4 laps, yes. So amazing job from George Russell, and Vettel and Alonso have also done the same. Vettel has gained, I think, 5 positions, and Alonso has gained 3. So everyone has gained positions who had an engine penalty, and they'll be progressing their way up through the field. Alrighty. 8 tenths is the gap between Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. Perez is once again in that no man's land zone, and there is a long DRS train forming behind Kimi Raikkonen. We have Raikkonen, Russell, Vettel, Alonso, soon to be Stroll, Schumacher, and Latifi, all in the DRS train. So yeah, choo choo, join the DRS train. But yeah, Esteban Ocon had a damaged front wing, and that was screwing up all of his airflow. So it was Esteban Ocon had a little bit of a coming together with, I think it was Pierre Gasly at the time. Oh no, it was Antonio Giovinazzi, sorry, who Esteban Ocon had a little coming together with. So that's why his front wing was damaged and he had to pit. So he's down in 20th place. We have team radio from Nicholas Latifi. Let's listen to this. Here we go.
Sandwich by the pass, man. You just sent it from wing damage.
All right. Yeah, so Nicholas Latifi did get sandwiched at turn 1, and if I can find an image of it, I will show you guys. We have 7,000 people watching, which is absolutely crazy. If you guys haven't hit the like button, be sure to do so, and if you guys haven't subscribed as well, be sure to do that. Very much will help out the channel and the stream as well. So back to the lead at the front. The gap at the front is closer than ever, but the dirty air is very much hindering Max Verstappen. 5 tenths was the gap before. It's been extended again by 3 tenths. So yeah, it's pretty tough out there with the dirty air for Max Verstappen, but we'll see what happens. All right, so I've got some images of what happened at turn 1. If you guys do want to see this, I'm just going to show you. So here we go. Yeah, he got sandwiched there. So Nicholas Latifi, this is why he had to pit. And yeah, so that's why Nicholas Latifi had to pit. And then I will get some more images up and I will let you know what was going on for the rest of the race. All right. This was the battle at turn 1. 3 wide between the McLarens. McLaren, Ferrari, McLaren. But yeah, very exciting battles out on track today. All right, we have team radio from Lance Stroll. Let's listen to this. Here we go.
I have no grip in the high-speed corners.
Copy, let's watch the slip in the low seat. Which axle is the issue?
Rear.
All right, so Lance Stroll is struggling with the rear. Max Verstappen, in fact, has got a lap time deleted for extending track limits at turn 19. Thank you, Shalom W, for the donation. Do appreciate it. For the super, I don't know what it's called. Super chat. No, it's super. Oh, I don't know. I forgot. But thanks for the donation. Does help out the channel. So what happened there? Stroll has got a bit too much front wing and his rear is sliding because he's got too much grip at the front. So he's struggling with the rear grip, and so will a lot of drivers because this race is very, very tough on the tyres. So expect a lot of team radios with drivers complaining about tyre wear. Yeah, all right then. So Well, it looks like 34% of you were correct on what happened at turn 1. Lewis Hamilton has the lead after turn 1. I'm going to end that poll. And then, yeah, here we are then. Carlos Sainz is on those soft tyres and will probably be pitting within the next 4 or 5 laps or so, because those soft tyres definitely do wear out a lot quicker than everyone else. And yeah, it's going to be difficult to maintain any sort of pace with those soft tires. They just drop off so much quicker than every other tire. And the same issue for Yuki Tsunoda. He's currently in front of his teammate, but Pierre Gasly is catching up to him, and that is sort of the gap between the mediums and the softs. The mediums will eventually become quicker than the softs. And Latifi didn't have a spin, but when he came out of the pits after his pit stop, he nearly crashed into Esteban Ocon. So, yeah, Nicholas Latifi not having the best of race starts, really. Going down the straight, in fact, 5/10 gap between Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton, and they are getting closer and closer. But I think Verstappen will have to catch Lewis Hamilton out with a mistake or something because of the dirty air. It is pretty difficult. Explain why the 8 is the wrong way around on the Soviet counter. Oh, the 8 is horizontal because that's an infinity sign. Because I say "and yeah" a lot. I see a lot of people in chat also telling me that. But here we are. Back up at the front of, well, in the midfield, Kimi Räikkönen is trying to overtake Antonio Giovinazzi. Stroll is quite a ways away from Seb Vettel, and Alonso is the first one to pit. After 7 laps on those medium tyres, he's decided to pit. So, very much lots of tyre wear coming through. Hamilton has just come over the radio and said he's quicker than me now. So, Hamilton not looking so confident. He'll be watching his tyre wears. He'll be trying to maintain his tyre life as much as possible. But Verstappen is in the dirty air, and that'll be ruining his tyres completely. So it's good that Hamilton has the lead of this race because it will help with his tyre management a lot. Yeah, all right then. We have team radio from Pierre Gasly. Let's listen to this. Here we go.
Okay, Pierre, keep the head down. Yuki with the stop should be hitting a pit much earlier than us.
When can we stop? I'm fighting the tires, when can we stop?
Yep, so Yuki Tsunoda is holding up Pierre Gasly, and Pierre Gasly is on the radio saying, you need to pit him as soon as possible because my tyres are getting screwed up because of it. So, yeah, a bit of inter-team rivalry down at AlphaTauri, and yeah. All right. It is very close between the drivers at the front. 7/10 is still the gap, so Verstappen is very much holding on to that pace throughout the entirety of his stint. So overheating is not holding back Max Verstappen, and yeah, 7/10 is the gap. We'll see if it does get any closer. He still does have DRS, so that's helping him. And going through turn number 16, 17, and 18, he is not going full throttle, which he normally would be in qualifying, but he is not now to maintain his tyre life. So they've already started doing like tyre saving measures and stuff for Max Verstappen because it is just so important. Was a small number next to tyre hardness. That's how many laps they've been on those tyres. So if it says 11, it means they've driven on those tyres for 11 laps. And yeah. Alrighty. What else is there to talk about? Fernando Alonso sets the quickest third sector out of everyone. So it looks like those fresh tyres definitely do help out with your pace, which is to be expected. But Fernando Alonso setting a quickest third sector definitely does show that you get a lot of time out of switching onto new tyres. This is how close it is currently, guys. Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, and Sergio Perez back there in the background. It's very, very close indeed out at the front. And yeah, just cannot wait for this race to unfold. All right then. Also, if you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do so because yeah, we've nearly got 8,000 viewers, which is only 1,000 less than my record ever on YouTube. So if you do hit the like button, we get even more viewers, and we could go on to break my record this stream, which will be very, very cool. back at the front though, the gap has been extended a bit. Verstappen has sort of nearly fell out of the DRS range, so Verstappen's tyres might be suffering from overheating, and Yuki Tsunoda is the first one to box. Yuki Tsunoda and George Russell, both drivers, have decided to box. Russell was on the mediums originally, Tsunoda was on the softs originally, but both drivers are coming out now on the hard tyres because those mediums and softs wear out very, very quickly indeed. Carlos Sainz has just come over the radio. Let's listen to this. Carlos Sainz is also the only driver out on soft tyres right now, so we'll see if it's about tyre life.
Carlos will be instructed by race director to give position to Lando for turn 12, lap 1, I'm afraid.
No, I gave it to Ricciardo for his turn 16. I did that on purpose. It was not Lando.
So race control have just told Carlos Sainz to give the position back, and Carlos Sainz has said no, race control is wrong. So yeah, Carlos Sainz just outwardly just telling race control is wrong. So there we are. Looks like race control might have made a bit of a mistake, to be completely honest. Antonio Giovinazzi is the only driver to have pit and come out on the mediums again. So Giovinazzi going out for a bit of a weird strategy here, pitting on the mediums twice. Max Verstappen is the first one to pit. Okay, so Verstappen has bit the bullet and gone for the undercut, guys. And the undercut is very powerful around here because we know that Fernando Alonso set a purple third sector in the Alpine. So if Max Verstappen goes in for a pit stop, it is looking good. Lando Norris has also gone in for a pit stop. So everyone will be pitting very, very soon. And yeah, very exciting indeed. Also, if we could hit 1,000 likes, that'd be very cool. We're on 925 now, 928. So if we could hit that, that'd be very cool. And also Pierre Gasly has also come in for a pit stop. So tyres are wearing out very, very quickly indeed. It looks like most drivers will be going for a two-stop. Verstappen is now out on track, and I will keep you updated on his pace, and we'll watch out for Lewis Hamilton's pace as well. In fact, Lewis Hamilton doesn't set a personal best first sector, so his pace is dropping off with those medium tyres. We'll see if he can maintain it in the rest of the sectors. Because if he doesn't, then Max Verstappen will either undercut him or, worst case scenario, we'll undercut him or we'll be very, very close to overtaking him. And currently the gap between the two drivers, Ricciardo's about to get... Verstappen makes the overtake on Ricciardo going down the back straight with the assistance of DRS, makes it past not too difficult. Ricciardo does not fight it because it's not his battle, it's not his race, but that is helping out Max Verstappen because Max Verstappen did get the DRS off Daniel Ricciardo, and that's a few extra tenths which he needs to overtake Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton now coming out of the final corner. Does he decide to go into the pits? No, he does not. Lewis Hamilton decides to carry on going. So even though Max Verstappen has got the undercut and he has successfully pulled it off because Lewis Hamilton has come over the radio, in fact, and just said the tyres are okay. So he can go on those tyres for a bit longer. But Max Verstappen has pitted and he is now out on 18. He's 18 seconds behind Lewis Hamilton. And if you pit, you lose 20 seconds or 24 seconds in the pit lane. So yeah, Lewis Hamilton, if he does pit, will come out behind Max Verstappen because Max Verstappen's got absolutely rocket ship pace, and he's on set 2 purple sectors right out of the pits. So one more lap, he'll get the fastest lap of the race. Ricciardo and Sainz both do box as well. So everyone's coming into the pits now. Drivers yet to pit are Hamilton, Bottas, Leclerc, Perez, and Vettel and Stroll. So the Aston Martins, both of them are out. So it looks like they can manage their tyres a bit better than everyone else. And I'm just going to play the Valtteri Bottas team radio. Let's listen to this. Here we go.
He has been struggling with his tyres. Some cars are starting to stop. So we're going to go long.
I have a feeling Gasly will also go long, so I'm going to be stuck behind him.
All right, so the Mercedes team have decided to go long. Hamilton and Bottas, both drivers going long. Pierre Gasly has just pit, so Valtteri Bottas thought the wrong thing, but obviously he doesn't have all of the data to see what's going on. Verstappen sets another purple first sector, so it's looking good for Max Verstappen, but the Mercedes are going for the long strategy, so maybe the Mercedes are going for a one-stop race and the Red Bulls are going for a two-stop race. Who has any idea what's going to happen? It's only been 12 laps of the race and there's already been so much action out on track. All right, we have team radio from Sergio Perez. Let's listen to this. And Lando Norris pit, so that's why he's further down the places. And yeah.
The rear end, but I have a lot of understeer in the high speed in sector 1.
So Perez has just come into the pits as well, and so has Leclerc, so has Raikkonen. So Perez was struggling with his tyres before, and Perez has gone for the medium tyres. So interesting strategy from Sergio Perez. He's pit onto the medium, so 2 sets of mediums for Sergio Perez, but Verstappen's went onto the hard. So everyone except Perez and Giovinazzi has pitted onto hard tyres, and those 2 drivers have gone onto the mediums. So they're playing the alternate strategy to try and get ahead of their competitors, maybe for having extra pace, because the mediums are obviously quicker than the hard tyres. Max Verstappen does set fastest lap of the race, and he is now 15 seconds behind Lewis Hamilton. So he's gained 4 seconds in the previous 2 laps. So a lot of pace for Max Verstappen on those fresh set of tyres. We'll see if he can maintain that and maybe catch up to Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton has a good lead on Verstappen. Do you think he should box? Well, Mercedes have decided to go out long, so we'll see if Mercedes go for 1-stop strategy or a 2-stop. Also, we're on 9,200 viewers, which I'm pretty sure is like 100 viewers underneath my record. So, yeah, thank you everyone for watching and tuning in. Very much do appreciate all the support, and be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Hamilton's tyres are okay. That he came over the radio saying his tyres are okay, which is not very often for Lewis Hamilton, because it's always, Bono, my tyres are dead. But yeah, so his tyres are looking in good condition, but in fact he has just gone into the pits right now, and he will come out maybe 10 seconds behind Max Verstappen. So absolutely horrible call from Mercedes to do that. I don't understand why they did that, but I'm not a Mercedes strategist. So Leclerc sets the quickest middle sector, so the Ferraris also do have the pace. Looks like he might have got a bit of a toe off someone else, but nevertheless, Leclerc got he got a toe off. Oh no, Carlos Sainz has in fact just overtaken Kimi Raikkonen, so good overtake from Carlos Sainz. And all right, so this is how close it, well, this is Max Verstappen's move on Daniel Ricciardo is rather easy if you, yeah, Ricciardo sort of just let him pass because there wasn't really any point in fighting it. But anyway, back to the race now. Hamilton comes out 6.5 seconds behind Max Verstappen. So all of the hard work that Lewis Hamilton put into at the start of the race to try and get past Max Verstappen has all just gone down the drain, and he's got to chase him back down again. 6.5 seconds is the gap between the 2 drivers. So horrible strategy call from Mercedes. Don't know exactly what they were doing, but they're usually quite good with strategy, but who knows what happened there. And it wasn't even a slow pit stop. Lewis Hamilton had a 2.8 second pit stop, so it was a normal pit stop as well. Verstappen flew by the straight, and we'll see if Hamilton can actually catch up to him. And yeah, all right then. Also, if you haven't hit, yeah, wait, no, I've just told you to like, doesn't matter. So we'll see if there's a DRS train forming. Behind Giovinazzi, we have Alonso and Raikkonen sort of in the DRS train. In fact, Alonso is going to make a move on Antonio Giovinazzi very, very soon. 2 sort of underpowered cars don't have the best horsepower, but Alonso does have the DRS and the slipstream going down the back straight. Decides not to go for a move this time because it would just be too risky trying to dive down the inside. Holds off for this lap. We'll see if he can carry on and maybe make a maneuver on the next lap. We have team radio from Max Verstappen. Let's just play this. Here we go.
Checo is pitching. You're now effective P2 on track. Currently, gap to Hamilton is 16 seconds. His last lap was a 42.0. 42.0. So just sensible during these things, please, guys.
Yep. So that's just coming over the team radio and telling Max Verstappen to slow down a bit. You don't need to push that much because yeah, I don't know why. But Max Verstappen likes to push and just go for fastest lap and drive as quickly as possible, but he does need to maintain those tyres because the tyres do wear out very, very quickly around this circuit. I don't know exactly what's happened to Pierre Gasly, but he has lost 7 places. I don't know where he's on track, in fact. He's down at turn 19. Don't know exactly what has happened to him. We'll see if I do get any information on him. Oh, he's had an engine issue. Yep. Pierre Gasly has an engine issue, so he is boxing right now. It looks like he might be out of the race. Very unfortunate for him. They might try and restart it, but he's now down in last place. currently 10 seconds behind Mazepin, so even he'll need a safety car if he does want to get back into this race, which might be pretty unlikely. Fernando Alonso has now is side by side with Antonio Giovinazzi going into turn 12, goes down the inside of him, but does not make the move stick. In fact, Giovinazzi fights it around the outside and is still maintaining the lead over Fernando Alonso. So Alonso, as we all know, is an absolute beast at defending, but is still in 13th place, not being able to overtake Antonio Giovinazzi successfully yet. Valtteri Bottas is the second Mercedes to pit, sorry. And we have some team radio from Lewis Hamilton. Let's listen to this. Here we go.
So Verstappen 40.4, this lap 40.8. We'll try and match that.
All right, so they're just trying to match Max Verstappen's pace. And also, guys, we've just hit 10,000 live viewers, which is my record on YouTube. So everyone that has watched, thank you so much. Very much do appreciate the support. And yeah, be sure to like and hit that subscribe button as well. But Valtteri Bottas is now just coming out of the pits, and Hamilton has closed up 0.5 of a second over the previous 2 laps, whereas Max Verstappen gained over half a second. Gained over 5 seconds in his 2 laps after his pit stop. So yeah, the undercut very, very powerful, and yeah, Max Verstappen has definitely gained from it. He does have 3 lap older tyres compared to Lewis Hamilton, but 3 laps definitely isn't too much in the grand scheme of things when we have 53 laps in the entire race. All right then, Fernando Alonso in fact loses a position to Kimi Raikkonen. So Fernando Alonso was trying to overtake Antonio Giovinazzi, but loses out another position to Kimi Raikkonen. So not the best thing from Fernando Alonso. DSCB, thank you again for the donation. Very much do appreciate it. And yeah, 10,000 live viewers. Very, very epic indeed. And yeah, back to the race though. Bottas is now down in 11th place behind Yuki Tsunoda. So he started out the race in 9th and is now down in 11th. So not looking good for Valtteri Bottas whatsoever. Wait, this is just glitching around. It says Bottas is 9th, but on the map it says that he's behind Tsunoda. Who has any idea? But we have team radio from Fernando Alonso, and yeah, we'll see what happened there. But Fernando Alonso looked like he just got overtaken from Kimi Raikkonen because he had a bit of a snapping oversteer, I think. So yeah, but Fernando Alonso very much struggling. Let's listen to his team radio.
Raikkonen overtook me outside step 1. I need the position quickly. Copy.
Yep, so Fernando Alonso thinks that Kimi Raikkonen overtook him on the outside of turn 1, but looks like the FIA haven't said anything just yet. So yeah, it does not look like there's anything's going to happen. Thank you for the donation, Paul. Yeah, very much do appreciate the support. Yeah, 10k live viewers. It's just dipped down now to 9,600, but nevertheless, still a record for the channel. And yeah, indeed, very, very cool. But looking back at the race now, everyone has sort of settled into their own little zone, and we have now Max Verstappen still 6 seconds ahead of his of the closest driver, who is Lewis Hamilton, and Sergio Perez is on the medium tyres, so he should be quicker than Max Verstappen. I mean, should be quicker than Lewis Hamilton, but he is not, so not quick enough just yet for Sergio Perez, even though he's on the quicker tyres. Yeah, Antonio Giovinazzi and Kimi Raikkonen both on the medium, so the Alfa Romeos are going for a medium hard strategy, whereas everyone else is going on to the medium hard strategy. So interesting strategy choice from the Alfa Romeos. We'll see what happens. The 2 Aston Martins were the only 2 drivers not yet to pit. Vettel has just come into the pits now, and we will see when Stroll comes into pit as well. Stroll was struggling with his tyres before, so it'll be good to see him pit, and we'll see what happens then. Alrighty, so this is what was happening down at turn 1 between Kimi Raikkonen and Fernando Alonso. Very close between the 2 drivers, and Fernando Alonso thinks Kimi overtook him outside the track, and technically he was outside the track because he was outside the white line, but also the curb is sort of part of the track, so we'll see what the FIA decide to do on that. But yeah, very much very close battle, and neither of them deciding to give anyone else give the other driver an inch to try and make an overtake. So yeah, the incident has been noted by race control, but we'll see what they actually decide to do on it. Seb Vettel comes out in 15th place after his first pit stop, and Lance Stroll is still yet to pit. He's driven 17 laps on those medium tyres, so maybe he's attempting a one-stop strategy, who knows. But the one-stop strategy does look very, very difficult indeed on these in this race. Yeah. All right. It's 3:34 a.m. Geez. Yeah. All righty. Let's see. Stroll is actually very close to overtaking Valtteri Bottas, and Bottas is on fresh sets of hards. So Bottas back into 9th place where he was at the start of this race, but still not made the overtake on Yuki Tsunoda. So not looking good for Valtteri Bottas, and he's struggling a lot with the dirty air as well. He's putting in multiple steering inputs, whereas usually all of the drivers try and do one smooth turning input. Everyone else, Valtteri Bottas is having to put multiple steering inputs and trying to sort of jab at the steering wheel to try and actually get a decent turn in. So not looking good for the front tyres of Valtteri Bottas. Lots of overheating for him there. We have team radio from Esteban Ocon. He's currently now in 17th place. Let's listen to what he has to say.
Okay, so if we can keep our pace up, get up to Latifi, you'll get past him, be helpful for the pit window of the Saubers that are in front of us. They'd come out behind in that case.
So Ocon has just tried to Ocon's just been told to try and overtake Latifi. The gap between himself and Latifi is 1.5 seconds, and yeah, so Ocon will be doing his best to get through. But the thing is that they've just called the Alfa Romeos the Saubers again, which is yeah, I don't know what to say, but yeah, Sauber was like in 2018, so they changed quite a long time ago. Alpine race engineers. All right, Bottas finally does make the move on Yuki Tsunoda. In fact, going into turn 12, got the slipstream and the DRS, and has made the move on Yuki Tsunoda. So Bottas gains one position after 19 laps of racing. So yeah. The race control have just said the battle between Fernando Alonso and Kimi Raikkonen, there is no investigation necessary. So yeah, that's what happened there. But Valtteri Bottas made a nice overtake on Yuki Tsunoda, and has just got past him. So yeah, one position gain for Valtteri Bottas, but needs to gain a lot more because Mercedes are only 30 points ahead of Red Bull in the Constructors' Championship, and it will not stay that way if Bottas is down in 8th place. In fact, we can check the live Constructors' Championship. Oh no, we can't check the constructors, we can just check their drivers. But if it stays the way it is, Max Verstappen will have a 14-point lead over Lewis Hamilton in the championship. So, yeah, 14 points, pretty significant. That's, yeah. So, Max Verstappen will hope to keep it this race win. Lewis Hamilton's brought down the gap again by another half a second. He's reduced it down to 5.5 seconds, whereas it was 6.5 seconds when he pit. So, good from Lewis Hamilton, but still not the pace that he needs to catch up to Max Verstappen and make the overtake stick. We have team radio from Max Verstappen. Let's listen to this. Here we go.
Okay, so the main deficits to Hamilton are turn 1, and then slightly more time management in turn 17.
All right, so Max Verstappen is losing most of his time to Lewis Hamilton at turn 1. So that's the uphill braking and then the downhill exit, which is a rather tricky corner because you could definitely lock up very, very easily. But Max Verstappen has got to find some more time there. And in turn number 17, Hamilton is wearing out his tyres. Well, Hamilton's going quicker than Verstappen in turn number 17. So yeah, Verstappen needs to watch out how quick he goes in turn 17, needs to manage how much he wears out his tyres and how quick he goes, because yeah, it's going to be important for the entire race strategy as a whole. And also, guys, what was I going to say? There is 4,000 fans. Oh, no, not 4,000. 400,000 fans attending this race in the USA. So I think this is even higher than the amount of fans we had at Silverstone. At Silverstone, we had 300k fans. Now we've got 400k fans. And we've got 10k fans watching right now on my stream, which is absolutely epic. Also, guys, you are typing Supermax in the chat. Do appreciate it, but don't need to spam Supermax. Like, I see some of you guys typing out a lot. Don't need to do it every single time. So yeah. Fernando Alonso does make the overtake on Antonio Giovinazzi after being stuck behind both Alfa Romeos for a very long time. Does make it past Antonio Giovinazzi, and we'll see if he can continue to make a few more overtakes. He's just on the cusp of the points now in 11th place, but he is definitely struggling for tyre wear. And they had Antonio Giovinazzi and Fernando Alonso had a good tussle down in the third sector where there's lots of overtaking opportunities, but in the end, Fernando Alonso was quicker, and yeah. Alrighty. Hamilton is not being able to catch up to Max Verstappen, though. That is the big problem that Lewis Hamilton is facing. And in fact, Fernando Alonso just sent it down the inside at turn number 12, extended track limits, and then still got past Antonio Giovinazzi. So we'll see if he has to give the position back. But yeah, Fernando Alonso broke very, very late indeed, and then also went a bit off track limits. So we'll find out what happens. Seb Vettel down in 14th and Stroll in 15th. Stroll, so everyone has pitted once so far in this race, and we have 35 laps remaining of racing to go, and yeah, it looks like everyone else will be going for another pit stop because I don't think these hard tyres will last another 35 laps, and it's looking good for a very exciting race because we'll have another undercut strategy. Maybe Hamilton goes in first this time, and then we'll see if Verstappen can maintain his lead over over Lewis Hamilton on the undercut. So yeah, Mazepin is down in 19th place, and he's just disappeared off the map because he has been lapped. So he'll reappear on the map now, but he's been lapped by Max Verstappen, I think. So that's why he disappeared off the track. But let's see what else is there going on track. Carlos Sainz is gaining on Daniel Ricciardo. We expected a lot more battling between the Ferraris and the McLarens, but they've sort of all just gone into their own little bubble. Carlos Sainz is the closest driver to overtaking Danny Rick. Ricciardo is 11 seconds away from Leclerc, so Leclerc sort of checked out. And then Norris is 4 seconds behind Sainz, so not a very close battle in between the McLarens and the Ferraris, but it is a Ferrari McLaren, so Ferrari are net gaining some points in the championship battle, which they will definitely want. We have team radio from Antonio Giovinazzi, and this will probably be of the fact that he's not very happy that Fernando Alonso overtook him off the track, and I will get you an image up of that as well. So let's play this. Here we go.
Come on, guys, you overtook me.
Yep, he overtook me off the track. So when an image does pop up on Twitter, I will show you because I get all of the images off Twitter. But yeah, so we have team radio from Lewis Hamilton as well, in fact. So let's play this. Here we go.
And Verstappen at 40.8. We need to target low 40s.
Alright, so Hamilton's been told to go for a low 40s lap, and immediately after being told that, he has brought the gap down by a second immediately, and a purple first sector. So looks like Hamilton will be trying to wear out his tyres a bit quicker and catch up a bit as well to Max Verstappen now. When Fernando Alonso went on to overtake Kimi Raikkonen, when Kimi Raikkonen went to overtake Fernando Alonso, he got a bit of damage to his barge board. So Kimi Raikkonen has a compromised car. His left side barge board is damaged, so that will not be helping him out trying to maintain that 10th place for Alfa Romeo. Hamilton now going through setting a green setting a green lap time of 1 minute 40.2, and that's exactly what Mercedes wanted. So good job from Lewis Hamilton getting the lap time required from the Mercedes strategy. And Max Verstappen may have to pick up the pace very, very soon because it's very, very close. And Hamilton is closing up on him, and they don't want that to happen. So yeah. All right. So back lower down the field, Carlos Sainz is once again catching up to Daniel Ricciardo. In fact, he's got within the DRS zone. So good job from Carlos Sainz. Now he'll be getting the slipstream down the straight and the DRS, which will definitely be helping him out. And just an update on the Alonso Giovinazzi situation. Alonso overtook Giovinazzi off the track and then has to give the position back to Antonio Giovinazzi. So yeah, Giovinazzi has given back the position, so Alonso's back into 12th, but Alonso still has the slipstream, so he'll try and make another move as soon as possible. What else was I going to say? Oh yeah, Pierre Gasly is down in 20th place. He had an engine issue, and that is why he's out of this race. So yeah, that's unfortunate for Pierre Gasly. And yeah, all right. We'll see if Fernando Alonso does make another move back on Antonio Giovinazzi, though. They're both going through the turn 1 sectors, which is not the best. So yeah, not the best in terms of dirty air. It's going to very much slow down Alonso and wear out his tyres a lot more than they usually would have. But going down now into turn 12, there's only a 5/10 gap between the two drivers, and he is gaining down the straight with the slipstream. Will Antonio Giovinazzi be able to hold on? 4/10 is the gap between the two drivers. 1/10. Alonso is now side by side going into turn number 12. Will he make it past Antonio Giovinazzi? He is, well, they're both side by side going into now the little complex in the third sector of corners, tight twisty sections. Lots of different lines possible to make an overtake there, and Antonio Giovinazzi comes out on top for this lap, but next lap will be another completely different story, with Fernando Alonso being closer than he has ever been to try and overtake Antonio Giovinazzi. Yeah. Alrighty. The gap from between Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin is 21 seconds. So, oh no, in fact, it's 33 seconds. So Mazepin is 33 seconds slower than Mick Schumacher, and it's only been 20 laps of this race. So, on average, Nikita Mazepin is a full second slower than Mick Schumacher in this race. But I think Mazepin had an extra pit stop or something, so I'm not exactly sure. But yeah. Also, guys, that you are typing in the chat, Max, Super Max, and Super Hamilton. Yeah, don't spam too much. Like, you can type it once, but don't copy out Super Max, because it does make the chat a bit cluttered. But yeah, the battle between Antonio Giovinazzi and Fernando Alonso, very, very feisty indeed. And Antonio Giovinazzi was not willing to give up the position whatsoever. Fernando Alonso got a very good switchback, but Antonio Giovinazzi... on last time, he held the position, but this time Fernando Alonso got past into turn number 1. So good overtake from Fernando Alonso. Finally got past Antonio Giovinazzi in a legal manner. So now he will be chasing down the stricken Kimi Räikkönen with a damaged barge board. Also, guys, if you haven't subscribed and liked, be sure to do so. If we could hit 2,000 likes, that's my record on a stream ever. So we're only 300 likes away. So if you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do that. Hamilton is catching up to Max Verstappen. Before, the gap was 5.5 seconds. Now it's down to 3 seconds. So he's gained 2.5 seconds on this lap, over the past two laps. So Hamilton is closing up to Max Verstappen, and it looks like they're coming up to the pit stop window as well. So within the next maybe 5-10 laps, they will be going for will be going for their pit stop, and Hamilton's trying to get as close as possible to try and undercut Max Verstappen. So there we are. Mercedes' strategy is coming back, and we'll see if they can improve and try and actually get past him and not do a bad strategy call. All right, Antonio Giovinazzi, we have team radio from him. He has lost the position to Alonso, and Vettel has in fact just got past George Russell. So good overtake from Seb Vettel, just going down into turn 1. Classic overtake, really. And he's past George Russell now, but we have team radio from Giovinazzi. Let's play this. And yeah, here we go.
Then you have to give the position to Alonso.
He pushed me out.
Give position back now. No discussion. Give position back.
Yeah, so very much the stewards interfering in giving the position back or not. We'll find out what actually happens, though. Nicholas Latifi and Esteban Ocon, both drivers, decide to pit. I think they did around 30 laps or so on those tyres. Oh no, because both of them had a little incident at the start of the race. So I think they did 25 or so laps on those tyres. So once all of the other drivers' lap times, once all of the other drivers have driven 35 laps on their hard tyres, they will be pitting very, very soon. So, well, they will start to pit. So, let's see how many laps time that is. We'll come up to second stop of pit stops, which will be very interesting to watch who goes to the undercut, whose strategy works out. So, yeah, it will be around about 10 laps or so until everyone else decides to come in for their second pit stop and try and catch up. So the gap at the front has decreased down to 3.4 seconds. Max Verstappen has decided to pick up the pace a bit, and Lewis Hamilton's pace has also sort of dropped off as their tyres are still wearing out. Yeah. Oh, we've hit 2,000 likes, which is very, very cool indeed. Thank you everyone for smashing the like button and subscribing. Very much do appreciate it. And also, guys, just so you know, this is turn 1. Oh, you can't exactly see it, but it's a very big uphill into turn 1, and that means you can brake a lot later. Oh, in fact, we've got a virtual safety car. Okay, so I'm gonna have to change the track status to virtual safety car. There we go. Don't know exactly why we have a virtual safety car. Looks like someone's had a bit of an issue. Antonio Giovinazzi has gone into the pits, I think. So Giovinazzi's gone into the pits. Hamilton has just missed the pit entry, and so has Max Verstappen. Everyone else behind them might be going into the pits to try and risk it, to try and get right to the end of the race. But it's a bit of an awkward time because going 35 laps on those tyres is going to be very, very difficult. Okay, so it's back to green flag racing. I don't know exactly what happened. I'll let you know why we had a virtual safety car. No one lost positions. It was just Antonio Giovinazzi lost 3, but I think he pitted. So not sure exactly why we had a virtual safety car. I think someone might have spun. Oh, yeah, it might have been Mazepin, in fact. Yeah, it might be Mazepin who spun. I'm not 100% sure, though. We have team radio from Lance Stroll, so let's play this. Here we go.
Car ahead is Russell, doing 44.1. Tyres are going to come back in a couple of laps. You're still faster than him. Think about +1 on torque if you need more rear, +1 on torque for more rear end.
I feel like I'm taking a lot out of the tires.
Copy, rear right is hot, take it easy in 7.
All right, so there's a lot of management going on for Lance Stroll, and I can confirm the virtual safety car was only because the marshal had to go out and get a piece of debris because it was from the battle between Alfa Romeo's Kimi Raikkonen and Fernando Alonso. They had a little battle, and as I told you, Raikkonen's barge board got damaged, and that bit of damaged barge board was on the track, so they pulled out a virtual safety car to get that barge board crossed off, and they just took it off the track. So now there's no debris out on track. But we're back to green flag racing, and the only person to pit in that pit stop was Antonio Giovinazzi, and he definitely did gain a lot of time because you gain 8 seconds in total race time by pitting under the virtual safety car. So Antonio Giovinazzi massively gaining out. He'll gain 8 seconds net in lap time, but we'll find out if that pays out into any points or anything. But he's going to have to drive 28 laps on those hard tyres, which is going to be extremely tough. And yeah, 28 laps on those hard tyres around this circuit is going to be very, very difficult. Lewis Hamilton has caught up to Max Verstappen once again, reduced the delta by another half a second, back down to 3 seconds now, and we'll see if Hamilton can now catch up to Max Verstappen, and it's getting very, very close to the pit stop phase as well. Someone might decide to go for an undercut and try and pull off a risky strategy with more worn out tyres towards the end of the race, but we'll see what happens with the race, well, with the pit stops within a few laps or so. Stroll has now got up onto the back of Russell. 5 tenths is the gap between the two drivers. Alonso's the first one to box. So Alonso has boxed after driving on those hard tyres for 20 laps. So now he thinks he can do 28 laps on his next set of hard tyres. We'll see if he can do that. But the battle between Stroll and Russell, let's see, where are they out on track? I can't even see them. I must be like blind or something. I actually have no idea where they are on track. Okay, well, who is it? George and Russell. Oh, they're going through sector 1 now. Yeah, so Russell does not have any dirty air, whereas Stroll has a lot of dirty air, so he's having to do a lot of management indeed. He came over the radio, increasing the torque settings to reduce the wear on the rear tyres, but Stroll still thinks he's taking a lot of tyre life out of his tyres. Max Verstappen has also boxed, so Max Verstappen is trying to go for the undercut. We'll see if Lewis Hamilton decides to actually try and push this time. Carlos Sainz, next driver to pit, so it looks like we're going to have a massive wave of loads of pit stops, so do not leave the stream because we're going to have a lot of undercuts and overcuts going on right now. It's going to be very, very exciting to find out who comes out on top after this strategy battle. I need to have a drink. All right. So Verstappen is just behind Sergio Perez. Perez will presumably just give the position to Verstappen going down the straight. Yeah, 2/10 is the gap, and Verstappen makes a quick and easy overtake over past Sergio Perez. Quick stop from the Red Bull guys as well. Only, I think it was 2.8 seconds. Yeah, 2.8 seconds between the two drivers. We have team radio from Lewis Hamilton. Let's listen to this. Here we go, because this is going to be the interesting stuff. All right, here we go.
And Lewis will go target +6, target +6.
Target +6, that means they had a pre-decided race strategy to go to lap number, maybe lap number 20, lap number, I think 30 or something, and then they'll pit. But target +6 means they're going to go 6 extra laps after their strategy. So that means they're going to be going longer than they did before. So Max Verstappen is currently quicker than Lewis Hamilton out on track. Hamilton has still set the fastest lap of the race, but Verstappen has set the fastest middle sector, and he is currently the quickest driver out on track. Carlos Sainz has a horrible slow pit stop, so he's now down in 8th place, whereas he would have been up in 6th. So not very good for Carlos Sainz. DCS Beamer, we've got 11k viewers, which is breaking my record once again, so record breaking stream. And everyone yesterday who hit the like button on this stream before it even started, I think it's pretty much thanks to you, because this boosted the stream in the algorithm, and here we are. So thank you everyone for subscribing and hitting the like button. Very much do appreciate all of the support and the donations as well. 26 laps remaining of this race. Perez is pitted, so is Norris, so is Ricciardo, and we will find out what happens. So Hamilton is going long, and Verstappen will have to manage these tyres as best as he possibly can, because 26 laps remaining on those hard tyres is going to be very, very difficult to manage indeed. Hamilton is also on a 2-stop strategy. Everyone is on a 2-stop strategy by the looks of it, because there is just so much tyre wear around this circuit, especially with the warm tyre temperatures. Track temperature now 38 degrees. So yeah, it was 36 at the start of the race. It's now up to 38. So I need to change that on the screen, but yeah, 38 degrees track temp, lots of overheating tyres, and yeah, going to be a lot of tyre management for Max Verstappen until the end of this race. It might be a Red Bull, Mercedes Red Bull podium, who knows? And also, guys, there is a stat that every time Lewis Hamilton has started in 2nd place, in USA, he has gone on to win this race. So Lewis Hamilton did start 2nd place today, so we'll find out if Lewis Hamilton does go on to win the race. Yeah, looking forward to it. Oh, Jack Z, hello F1 Gamer, I love you very much and your content. Well, do appreciate the support, Jack Z. Thank you very, very much. Back to the race though, Norris has pitted and he comes up behind Sainz, so it looks like Norris had a bit of a slow pit stop as well. Yep, Norris had a 4.2 second pit stop, so not the best for him either. So both Sainz and Norris having slow pit stops, and yeah, not looking good for both of them. Issa Gamer as well, appreciate all of the support in the comments, guys, the chat, sorry. Yeah, thank you very, very much. But so everyone from 13th place and below has been lapped. So Russell, Alonso, Giovinazzi, Schumacher, Latifi, Ocon and Mazepin have all been lapped. And yeah, so it's there's still a lot of pace gap between the drivers at the front and the drivers at the back of the race, especially Mazepin, because he's 46 seconds behind Esteban Ocon. So yeah, very, very slow indeed from Nikita Mazepin, and yeah, shouldn't be an F1, but here we are. We have team radio from Mick Schumacher, so let's listen to this. Here we go.
Okay, Mick, leader Verstappen, 1.5 behind. It'll be a blue soon. Okay. Blue flag Verstappen and blue flag Verstappen.
Yep, so they're just making sure that they don't get any blue flags. Hello, Looney Tunes. I don't know what you're talking about. It was a bit toxic, but Kimi Räikkönen has gone into the pits, and so is George Russell. So everyone is pitting. The only drivers yet to pit are Tsunoda, both Aston Martins. Leclerc has just gone into the pits as well. Probably Bottas will also be going out long, and Schumacher still hasn't pitted as well. So both Aston Martins and both Mercedes going long on their strategy. So it looks like they have some sort of trick that we don't know about, and they can go out and stay out on those tyres very for a long time. Christian Horner has just come over like the Sky radio thing or whatever, and has just said this race is all about the last 5 laps. It's going to be fascinating. The pace was just starting to drop off. We are covering the undercut option. So Christian Horner thinks the last 5 laps of this race is going to be the most exciting, because that's where all the tire wear and stuff kicks in. So do stick around till the end of the stream, guys, because there is going to be a very intense battle between Hamilton and Verstappen. Perez sets the fastest lap of the race, nearly a full second quicker than Max Verstappen. So Perez has got some very good pace indeed, but he has to maintain those tyres for another 24 laps. So make sure not to take too much out of those tyres for Sergio Perez, even though he is the best tyre management driver on the entire grid. We have Yuki Tsunoda, who's just pitted as well, so he comes out in 10th place. So he'll be trying to hold on to that 10th place, maybe score some points, because his teammate Pierre Gasly is out of this race, so AlphaTauri would like to salvage some points this weekend. Leclerc has come out in 4th place. Very strong race from Leclerc. Haven't really talked about him all race really, but he's just been sitting in 4th place consistently, putting in the laps, no mistakes whatsoever. So it's a good job from Charles Leclerc, and it'll be very much helping out Ferrari in the Constructors' Championship battle. And Bottas is in 5th place, but he still has to pit. So I think when he does pit, because you lose 20 seconds in the pit stops, he will come out in approximately... he'll come out in 9th place, just behind Lando Norris. So Valtteri Bottas still no net gain from net gain in positions from the start of this race. So yeah, he definitely does need to gain a few more positions to help out Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship. Are drops enabled? This isn't Twitch, so there are no drops, unfortunately. But we do have team radio from Lewis Hamilton, so let's play this. Here we go.
Lewis, you're racing for the win.
So Lewis has just been told that he's racing for the win. But yeah, this is it. 15-second gap between Verstappen and Hamilton. So when Hamilton does eventually pit, he'll come out 10 seconds or so behind Max Verstappen, and then have to chase down that 10-second gap and also overtake Max Verstappen. But he will have the tyre advantage, of course. So it's going to be very much like France, where Max Verstappen was coming from behind and just had a fresh set of hard tyres and was just very, very quick and made the overtake on the final lap, or the second to last lap of the race. So very exciting indeed, and I think that we're going to have the same thing again. Wow, we're at 12k live viewers, 3,000 live viewers more than my previous record. So everyone that's tuning in, very much do appreciate the support. And I think this will be like my first live stream that maybe gets like 150k views like off the spot. So who knows? But Charles Leclerc sets the fastest first sector, so very good job from Charles Leclerc. And hopefully he can go still maintain that 4th place till the end of this race. And that rhymed, 4th place till the end of this race. Very cool. But anyway, back down at the end of the points positions, Tsunoda is very close to overtaking Lance Stroll. In fact, going down the back straight, Tsunoda got the slipstream and the toe off Lance Stroll, and the VTEC has kicked in, and he has got past Stroll going into turn number 12. Good move from Yuki Tsunoda, and Stroll loses out another position. In fact, Bottas goes into the pits, but Stroll loses out 2 positions to Tsunoda and Räikkönen. So not looking good for Lance Stroll. He's on those medium tyres after 15 laps, and they are starting to wear out. So it will be only a matter of laps now before Stroll and Vettel both come into the pits. Only 22 laps remaining of this race. Hamilton will have to pit very, very soon. Bottas has just pitted, so we'll be expecting maybe the next 3-4 laps, and then Hamilton will also come into the pits. All right, who do you think is going to take the win? Well, I have no idea who's going to take the win, because Verstappen is closing up on Hamilton, but then the tyre wear will be getting very, very strong for Lewis Hamilton as well. So, well, we're getting very, very strong for Max Verstappen. So that'll be a big advantage to Lewis Hamilton. So I have no idea. The drivers who are grey, they've been lapped. So that is why they're grey. And also, guys, if you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do so. If we could hit 3,000 likes, that would be absolutely epic. We're nearly at 2,500, actually. We're 9 likes away. So there we are. But Valtteri Bottas comes out in 7th place, in fact. So Lando Norris is right on his tail, 2.3 seconds. Norris hasn't had the strongest of weekends, really. Usually he's very quick and he's been consistent all race around, but all season round, sorry, but having a bit of an off weekend today, and yeah, down in 8th place, not where his teammate is. Usually a lot quicker than Daniel Ricciardo, but Ricciardo's seem to get used to the McLaren car now, and all of the drivers now picking up the pace. Their speeds going through turn number 16, 17 and 18 are a lot quicker than they were at the start of this race. So everyone's starting to push now on their final set of tyres with 21 laps to go. All right, 2.6k likes. Thank you everyone for, well, smashing the like button and subscribing. Hamilton has definitely cut into Hamilton's... Verstappen has definitely cut into Hamilton's lead, sorry. And the gap now is down to 12 seconds. So it looks like... well, it's very, very good indeed for Max Verstappen. 12 seconds is the gap between Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen, and Hamilton still has to pit. So, yeah. It's looking good, and we've also just hit 12k subs, and I only hit like 10k subs like 2 weeks ago or something, so already on 12k subs. So everyone who's subscribed as well, thank you very much for all of the support. All right, Toto just came on the radio and just said, Lewis, you can win this. So who knows what will happen, because it looks like these hard tyres are going to wear out a lot. In fact, we've got the same number of subs as we do live viewers. So I think everyone, if you haven't subscribed, be sure to do that. Anyway, back to the race. We have Fernando Alonso in 12th place, still battling away with the Alfa Romeos, and unable to get past the damaged car of Kimi Raikkonen. And Esteban Ocon, his teammate, is down in 17th place. The Alpine not having a strong weekend today. Well, not having a strong weekend this weekend whatsoever, really. Just not on the pace whatsoever. And they really do need to pick up the pace if they want to beat Aston Martin in the Constructors, I think. I think they're behind them right now because Vettel got... Oh, no, they might be... Actually, I'll just check the Constructors' Championship. Alpine are... Oh, they need to pick up the pace if they want to beat AlphaTauri in the Constructors, because the championship between AlphaTauri and Alpine is 12 points. So, yeah, they need to beat them in the championship. So, they need a few more strong weekends and a strong performance from Fernando Alonso. Garcia had an engine failure, for any of you that are wondering and have just joined. But other than that, Hamilton has the lead right now, but he is still yet to pit. And with 20 laps to go, 19 laps to go, Hamilton, as I say, he hasn't pitted. Hamilton just goes into pits now. So there is an 11-second gap between Verstappen and Hamilton. When Hamilton comes out, he'll come out he might even come out just ahead of, he'll come out ahead of Sergio Perez and behind Max Verstappen. So this will be it then. 19 laps to chase down Max Verstappen. This is going to be a very exciting 19-lap race. All right, I need to have a drink before Hamilton comes out, and we need to start commentating like really quickly because there's gonna be a lot of action. All right, do you cover F2 races? Unfortunately, I don't cover F2 races, but I do the qualifying sessions. So if you're interested in the qualifying sessions as well, now I do commentate those. I do this every single weekend as well, guys. So be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and the notification bell. Yeah, I haven't said that all day. And just while Hamilton's coming out of the pits, my Instagram and Twitter are also in the description. Yeah. All right then. Hamilton has come out and he is on the hard tyres. So he has not gone for the strategy to go onto the medium tyres and just push to the end of this race. But this is it now. 19 laps remaining. And Lewis Hamilton has to gain 8.4 seconds on Max Verstappen. He has an 8-lap tyre advantage over him. And yeah, this is it now, 8.5 seconds, and we'll be comparing their sector times, lap times, right to the millisecond, and we'll see who comes out on top. Hamilton had a 2.4 second pit stop, so quick pit stop from the Mercedes boys. And yeah, all right then. So this is it. There's still a train behind Yuki Tsunoda in 10th place. There's Tsunoda, Raikkonen, Alonso in a train. And Sainz unable to make the move on Daniel Ricciardo. He got into the DRS before, but has now fell out of it again. So the dirty air very much hampering the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz. But back up at the lead of the front, we have Lewis Hamilton 0.4 quicker in the middle sector of the lap, and we will be checking his sector times for the remainder of the lap as well. So he's slower than Verstappen, in fact, in the third sector, but that might be expected because he needs to warm up those hard tyres because they have a much higher operating temperature, and you need to push a lot harder to get them up to temperature, for the hard tyres. So Hamilton will be getting those hard tyres up to temperature as soon as he can, and then we will find out what happens to him. Vettel is now in 9th place. He still hasn't pitted. Only driver yet to pit. Gone 22 laps on those medium tyres. So tyre management masterclass from Seb Vettel. But yeah, when he does pit, he will probably drop down into, I think, 13th place or so. So not looking the best for Seb Vettel. Looking at the lap times, first sector from Lewis Hamilton was 0.2 quicker than Max Verstappen. So we'll get, I will probably get an AWS prediction very, very soon. But this is it. This is, well, it's very similar to Spain as well. So in Spain, Mercedes pitted Lewis Hamilton later, and he was able to chase him down and pass him on fresher tyres. But there are a lot more variables around here because there's increased tyre temperature, a lot more tyre wear, and we'll find out what happens. And 8.5 seconds is the gap, and we're monitoring that every single lap now. 17 laps remaining of this race. Seb Vettel is the final driver to pit, so every single driver has gone out for a two-stop strategy today. Very, very exciting race indeed. Hamilton has just, well, they've all just come over the team radio to Lewis Hamilton has just said it's all about the last 3 laps. So this race is going right down to the wire. And if you're wondering how many laps there are left in this race, there are 17 laps left, and it says right in the top left corner, but it says, but it's quite small. So if you're on your phone or something, you might not be able to see it. But also, we're 200 likes away from 3,000 likes. That would be very cool if we could hit 3,000 likes. But this is it now. Final 3 laps. Who is going to be your driver of the day? I'm going to put a vote in the. Actually, let me know who is your driver of the day, and then I'll put a poll out on the YouTube chat. So yeah, who's your driver of the day? I would say. Oh, I don't actually know. I don't know, Max Verstappen for having quick pace. There hasn't been anyone who's done loads of overtaking. I mean, Alonso's gone from 20th place up into 11th, but he's had a lot of tangles with the Alfa Romeo guys. All right, let's see. Alonso, Max, Perez, Lewis, Leclerc, Kimi, Mazepin. Well, it's not Mazepin, is it? Verstappen, Alonso, Hamilton. All right, well, we've got a lot of people voting for a lot of different drivers. So, yeah, I don't think I can do a poll because there's only 4 options, which is the issue. We have team radio from Lance Stroll. He's now in 14th place. Sorry. Let's listen to what he has to say.
Lance, you're half a second quicker than Giovinazzi. He's going to have some lapping events ahead, so we can get him.
All right, so that's what it is then. So they're trying to catch up to the Alfa Romeos are the Aston Martins. Fernando Alonso has pitted again, so I don't know why Fernando Alonso is going for a 3-stop strategy. Very interesting thing there. But Lewis Hamilton, fastest third sector on this previous lap, fastest first sector on this lap. So he is chasing down Max Verstappen now. 7.5 seconds is the gap between the two drivers. And yeah, just cannot wait to see this play out now. Who can manage the tyres the best and who can maintain the pace for the longest. Hamilton has just got past a lot of traffic. He's got past, so the only traffic he has left now is Giovinazzi. And then he will be in the sights of Max Verstappen. Verstappen has Raikkonen and Tsunoda yet to lap, and after that it will be a clear track. So once all of the lapping is done, it will just be a straight battle between Verstappen and Hamilton till the end of this race. We've hit 3,000 likes, very, very cool, and we're nearly at 13k live viewers, which is absolutely epic. Hamilton, quickest middle sector as well, so Hamilton is flying, he has got the pace, but we'll see if he can overtake Max Verstappen in this race. Oh, I just did another epic rhyme. Right, cool. Daniel Ricciardo, we have team radio from him, so let's listen to this.
If Sainz makes an extra pit stop, he'll drop behind Lando and Bottas. He's likely to try and get to the end.
Okay, roger.
All right, so yeah, they're trying to get Carlos Sainz probably going to get to the end of this race. He's got 26. He'll do 26 laps, but on these hard tires. But Sainz is very, very close to overtaking Daniel Ricciardo now. 3/10 is the gap between the two drivers. So Ferrari is finally caught up to the McLaren, and we'll see if they can, if Carlos Sainz can get past. All right, T. And there's no tyre advantage that either driver has. Ricciardo's tyres are 10 laps old, Sainz's are 11 lap old, so just a straight fight between the McLarens and the Ferraris, and we'll find out what happens there. But the lap time from Lewis Hamilton, a 1:38.4, whereas Verstappen is just putting a 1:40.4, so 2 seconds quicker is Lewis Hamilton on this lap, so 2 full seconds. Yeah, very, very exciting indeed. Finishing in the top 10 is important because you only get points for finishing in the top 10, so that's why you want to finish in the top 10, of course. Yeah, that's why we've been talking about the top 10 that much, really. Alonso has just got past Stroll on his fresh set of mediums, so those fresh set of mediums are working for Fernando Alonso, but he's done a 3-stop strategy, which is absolutely bizarre, really. Haven't heard of a 3-stop strategy in a dry race in a very, very long time. But Hamilton has brought the gap down to 5 seconds now, 15 laps remaining, and Hamilton is now 5 seconds away from Max Verstappen. Maybe Max Verstappen is conserving his tyres so he can have a little battle with Lewis Hamilton. Who knows? 15 laps remaining, and Hamilton is now 4.9 seconds behind Max Verstappen. Carlos Sainz is closing up on Daniel Ricciardo. In fact, 2/10 is the gap between the two drivers. And Sainz is in the slipstream and the DRS, gaining down the straight. Goes for a move, does not pull it off successfully though. Ricciardo swoops around the outside, but they're both side by side going into the turn number 14 now. And there's lots of different lines into the next corner. So Sainz goes for the switch back, does not pay off. So he is now behind Daniel Ricciardo for this lap, but they'll be having another battle going down onto the next lap. Esteban Ocon does retire. There is no point for him to pit. There's no point for him to carry on. He's down in 17th place, just putting a lot of wear and tear onto his engine unnecessarily when he's not going to score any points. So he does pit and is out of this race. So Ocon and Gasly are the two drivers who have retired in today's race. The gap at the front has decreased by another half a second, down to 4.5 seconds now. Hamilton has got Yuki Tsunoda and Kimi Raikkonen as traffic to pass, and after that it will just be a straight race between Verstappen and Hamilton. No traffic, no nothing. Just the two championship rivals battling out on track. Exactly what we've been waiting to see, you know? Yeah, absolutely epic. Well, who knows? If Lewis can keep up the pace, he might catch up to Max Verstappen, but then Max Verstappen might have the pace to hold him off, or he'll put off a really amazing defensive masterclass like Fernando Alonso did. But you do have to remember that the Mercedes do have a lot better top speed compared to the Red Bulls, so that's going to help out. Max Verstappen. Help out Lewis Hamilton try and make the overtake. But Max Verstappen does have the pace in the low speed corners. So Hamilton will have the pace down the straight, but then in the overtaking corner, the Red Bulls are quicker. So it's just a very interesting battle. And yeah, everyone has their own strengths, and we'll find out who can take advantage of them most and come out to win this race. Alrighty. So Sainz once again on the back of Ricciardo, unsuccessful overtake attempt this lap, but we'll be going down the main straight again with the DRS and trying to make another move stick. We have team radio from Carlos Sainz, in fact, so let's listen to this. Here we go. And Lewis Hamilton, great.
I got a bit dirty. We did that on purpose, guys.
Understood. We're reporting.
Yep, so elbows out between Daniel Ricciardo and Carlos Sainz. And yeah, Daniel Ricciardo not giving up the position. He is currently in 5th place, does not want to give that up. So yeah, elbows out now. 13 laps remaining. Gap between Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton, 4 seconds. So it is very much coming down to the wire. So yeah, do not leave the stream because, well, this is going to be a very interesting battle in the final 3 laps. We have Lewis Hamilton, team radio. Let's listen to what he has to say.
See rear overheating, but traction metrics look okay.
So Lewis Hamilton's rear tyres are heating up and they will be wearing out quicker, but he's still getting a decent amount of traction coming out the corners. So fair enough for Lewis Hamilton. Still performing pretty good. 4 seconds left though now. Max Verstappen will be activating the Honda Beat and pressing VTEC on his steering wheel. He doesn't actually have a VTEC button, guys, but he will be figuratively pressing VTEC and turning up that engine because because Hamilton is closing up and he is closing up quick. Alrighty then. 12 laps to go and yeah, just cannot wait. There's not much else going out on track. Bottas is trying to overtake Carlos Sainz, so it's now a 3-way battle for 5th place. Sainz is now defending from Valtteri Bottas and also trying to attack Daniel Ricciardo. So very interesting battle there for 5th place, but gap now reduced to 3.8 seconds, so it's very much fluctuating around the 4-second margin, and it's getting reduced more and more. So it's looking good for Lewis Hamilton. Gap down to 3.5s. But yeah, all right. Verstappen, one more stop, 2nd place with fastest lap. Yeah, but 2nd place with fastest laps means he loses 6 points to Lewis Hamilton in the championship, and he has got a 2-point lead, so he'll effectively lose out the lead in the championship, which he does not want to do. So he might as well stay out till the end of this race. And yeah. Verstappen does have open air. Max Verstappen will not pit again, so it's just a straight fight now. 11 laps remaining, 3.5 seconds is the gap. Team radio from Lando Norris, let's listen to what he has to say. He is the 8th place, is actually the lowest driver that hasn't been lapped yet, but he probably won't be lapped by the end of this race, so yeah. Lando Norris is the lowest driver that hasn't been lapped. Right, let's listen to his radio.
Okay, Lando, we don't think we'd get close enough, so we'd like to stay out, please. So this is still maximum pace to the end.
Okay, confirm.
13 laps to go. Let's do this.
Yeah, Lando Norris seems kind of a bit demotivated. He's currently in 8th place and has to close up the gap to Valtteri Bottas. But with Bottas trying to battle Carlos Sainz, I think it's very possible that we get a 4-way scrap on the last lap for 5th place between Daniel Ricciardo, Carlos Sainz, Valtteri Bottas and Lando Norris. Do I reckon Lewis Hamilton will catch up? I definitely reckon Lewis Hamilton will catch up. 3 seconds is the gap now between Verstappen and Hamilton, and Hamilton is now closing up onto the dirty air range. And if you guys can look at this graph, in fact, this is the lap time that Hamilton was gaining on Verstappen before, but it's slowly sort of dropping off. Right, I'll show you when the graph loads up again. Here we go. Interval. As you guys can see, the gap that the lap time he was gaining to Max Verstappen is sort of slowly dropping off as the dirty air kicks in. It's quite small to see if you're on the phone, but the graph is going down, so it's going to get very, very close indeed. 11 laps remaining now, and yeah. The top speed for Lewis Hamilton is 321 kilometers an hour, and Lewis Hamilton hasn't had DRS all race, whereas Max Verstappen has had DRS and is only 3 kilometers an hour quicker. So, not looking good in terms of top speed for the Red Bulls, but we'll find out and see what happens. Alrighty. Why is Alonso's dot yellow? I have no idea. It might be because he's on the medium tyres. I think that might be why. I'm not 100% sure though, to be honest. Yeah, alright. The gap now down to 2.6 seconds. So Hamilton, 2.6 seconds now, 10 laps to go. We'll find out because I'm sure Verstappen is not going to leave this battle, just let Hamilton drive past him. It's going to be a very good battle indeed between Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton, and I cannot wait for this to happen now. 10 laps left now, and wow, 14,000 live viewers. If you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do so. If you haven't subscribed as well, be sure to do that. It does help out the channel. And yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in, and I stream every single weekend the qualifying and the race, and my Instagram and Twitter are in the description, so go follow that as well. And also by the end of at the end of the season, we're gonna have a giveaway for 10 Kimi Raikkonen caps. So yeah, be sure to stay tuned for that. Valtteri Bottas is trying to overtake Carlos Sainz now. Going into turn 1, could not pull off the move, was a bit too far behind, but Bottas and Sainz are locked in battle. Sainz has fell off Daniel Ricciardo now, so it's a battle for 6th place, not a three-way battle for 5th anymore, but Sainz and Bottas having a battle, and this will be very critical for the Constructors' Championship, in fact, because the 30-point gap that Red Bull have, the 30-point deficit that Red Bull have to Mercedes in the Constructors will be very easily taken up by the fact that Verstappen and Perez are quicker overall than Hamilton and Bottas in this race. So yeah, just cannot wait for this. All right then. So the championship, the Constructors' Championship and the Drivers' Championship, very much going down to the wire now. And cannot wait. Will Max pit again? Max will not pit again. Yeah, this is very tense, and I really want to play some dramatic music, but I'm pretty sure I'll get copyrighted. So yeah, but Hamilton has reduced the gap now to 2.3 seconds, so getting ever closer. 9 laps to go. Esteban Ocon retired because he was in 17th place and there was no point of him driving around. He's just putting excess wear on his engine, so he has just retired from this race, and so has Pierre Gasly because he had an engine issue. Anyway, back to the battle at the front. 2.2 seconds now between Verstappen and Hamilton. So 2.1, and it's just getting closer and closer, and within a matter of time Hamilton will be suffering from dirty air a lot, so and maybe his tires will start overheating, but as you guys can see, that graph is still just on a trend downwards. It's just carry on going down. So will that graph reach 0, or will Hamilton find a way to get past Lewis to Max? Will Lewis Hamilton find a way to get past? But just 2.5 seconds, and Hamilton is now in Max Verstappen's mirrors as well. So does Verstappen have anything left in his tyres? That is the question. Because if he does, then he will be able to overtake and maintain the lead over Lewis Hamilton. And, well, no, defend the lead against Lewis Hamilton. But if he does not, then Hamilton will be able to breeze by him. So the more that Max Verstappen holds Lewis Hamilton behind him, the more Hamilton's tyres are going to overheat. And yeah, just this is exactly what we want. Hamilton will have DRS. He's still 1 second away from getting DRS. 1 second is the zone for DRS, and Hamilton is 2 seconds away. So Hamilton still needs to gain another full second to get within the DRS range of Max Verstappen. But yeah, Hamilton will be... He's suffering from dirty air already. I'll show you just an image there. This is the gap when it was 2.9 seconds. Now the gap is 1.9 seconds. So yeah, very, very close between the two drivers, and it will just be getting closer and closer as the race comes to an end. Yeah, cannot wait. 8 laps left now. Vettel is now trying to overtake Antonio Giovinazzi going down into turn number 12 with the slipstream and DRS. Still 9 tenths behind though, so having a tough time, but it's not going to get him any points, so might not be worth... Well, he might as well try, because he could overtake Kimi Raikkonen as well, who knows. Vettel gaining down the straight as well, but not close enough this time to make an overtake stick. Back at the front, Verstappen has set a green first sector. So Hamilton, looks like Verstappen still has pace and tyre life left in those hard tyres now. He's done, I think, 20 laps or so on those hard tyres. I'll just double check. Yeah, Hamilton has done 12 laps on those hard tyres, and Verstappen has done 20 laps on his hard tyres. So 8-lap tyre life gap between the two drivers. But yeah, we'll find out if those 8 laps is significant enough for Lewis to make an overtake. Who knows? And yeah, 10 laps to go, and very, very exciting indeed. By far the best watch-along channel, thanks. Well, do appreciate all the support, guys. I mean, 15,000 live viewers, cannot believe it. That's like 1.5 times my previous record. Everyone that's just tuned in, thank you so much. And if you haven't subscribed and hit the like button, be sure to do that as well. Alrighty. 1.9 seconds is the gap, so Hamilton's pace has dropped off a bit, and Verstappen is once again setting green lap times. So looks like Verstappen has still got some pace left in those tyres, and we're just carrying on. Maybe we could get 4,000 likes as well. We're currently at 3,500, well, 50 away from 3,500. If we could hit 4,000, that would be twice my record. So yeah, very much a record-breaking stream. Verstappen is... his pace is just continuing as usual, but Hamilton's picked up the pace a bit now. Gap down to 1.5, so only half a second away from DRS range for Max Verstappen, for Lewis Hamilton. And Vettel is gaining on Antonio Giovinazzi. Last time he was 5 tenths away, this time 3 tenths away. So next time he will probably be making a move on Antonio Giovinazzi. And also, guys, just on the top speed thing, Hamilton is 5 kilometers an hour quicker with DRS open, and Max Verstappen also has DRS open. But when Hamilton has DRS open and Verstappen doesn't have DRS open, there's a 20 kilometers per hour deficit that Max Verstappen has to Lewis Hamilton. So DRS is very, very powerful, and it'll be very important for Max Verstappen to not let Hamilton get in the DRS range. 6 laps remaining now. 1.6 seconds is the gap between the two drivers. And yeah, we're basically all on the edge of our seats because I cannot wait. Cannot wait now. I said cannot wait, but this is very, very exciting. Perez nearly half a minute behind his teammate, Max Verstappen. So, yeah, Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, basically on another level compared to everyone else. Perez a full half a minute behind, full 30 seconds behind Max Verstappen. So, Perez will probably get that podium, but, yeah, Hamilton and Verstappen on another level, and that's why these two drivers are competing for the Constructors' Championship. Alrighty then. Here we go. The gap has has increased again to 1.8 seconds. Very much fluctuating now between 1.7 and 1.8. And yeah, well, let's see what happens. Vettel has just made the overtake stick on Antonio Giovinazzi, so good overtake from him. Did make it finally stick going into turn number 12, so got past him. Next up is Kimi Raikkonen, 2.6 seconds up the road for him there. But Fernando Alonso has also come into the pits, and I think Fernando Alonso is also retiring. So we have team radio from him. Let's listen to this. Here we go.
Yeah, rear wheel broke up. Retire the car. Okay, copy.
Yep. Can we get an F in the chat for Fernando Alonso? His rear wing just broke. Yeah, had a rear wing issue. So can we get an F in the chat? And only one F in the chat, guys, because it's quite a bit of spam that we usually get when I say F in the chat. But anyway, the gap back at the front. Hamilton, purple first sector. Cannot believe that. So he's still got tyre life enough to set a purple first sector. Hamilton does have fastest lap of the race, by the way. So that will be helping him out in the constructors, in the drivers, sorry. 6 points that gap, the 6 points that he'll lose to Max Verstappen rather than 7. So there are 5 laps remaining in this race, and 1.6 seconds is the gap. Yeah, alrighty then. Yeah, guys, I can see that you're typing F multiple times. So, yeah. All right, let's chill with the Fs in the chat because we've got 5 laps to go and we've got to cheer on Supermax and Lewis Hamilton. I'm in fact going to put a poll up in the thing and see who's going to win. So, who will win? And then will Max win or will Lewis win? Max and Lewis. Ask your community. All right. I would be able to mute them, but there's just too many. So, and all of my mods are, well, there are a few of them, but yeah, there's a bit too many people to ban all straight away. All right. So the gap has been extended to 1.6 seconds. So it looks like Hamilton's tires are going off. So who knows what will happen now? Hamilton's tyres maybe slightly gone off. He has set a purple first sector, but then hasn't been able to close up anymore. So maybe it's overheating issues. Maybe he's charging up the battery to go for a final push at the final lap or the final last 2 laps. Who knows? Because that will be a very smart call. 16k live viewers. Wow. And thank you for the donation, C. Paul. Very much do appreciate it. Yeah, 16,000 live viewers. Oh my God, that's like double or like, wow. Everyone that's tuned in, very much do appreciate all of the support. Absolutely epic. All right, yeah, so we still have green flag racing. It wasn't yellow flag. Okay, never mind. So 1.6 seconds is the gap between the two drivers. 4 laps remaining now. And yeah, it's 4 a.m. and you're wide awake. I mean, you have to be wide awake for this race. We have team radio from Max Verstappen. Let's listen to what he has to say. 4 laps left now. Here we go.
Gap is up to 1.9. Come on, mate.
Yep, so just a little bit of motivation for Max Verstappen. Gap now back down to 1.5 seconds. So, yeah, not the best for Max Verstappen there, but he's maintaining the lead and still has Lewis Hamilton behind him. So we'll find out. We'll find out what happens. 3 laps left. Hamilton has been I think Hamilton's been charging up his battery. A bit of an interesting strategy, but and now he'll be going for a final push on these final 3 laps. Kimi Räikkönen had a spin at turn number 6, so that's why he has lost 2 places and is down into 12th, and Vettel has been promoted up into 10th place on the points. So, yeah, Kimi Räikkönen had a bit of a spin, don't know exactly why, might have just lost the car because of the tyres, but the gap is reduced down to 1.3 seconds now between Hamilton and Verstappen, so it's getting 1.2 seconds now, so it's just getting closer and closer. Maybe next lap he'll have the DRS as well, so Hamilton will have the slipstream going down the straight, because now he's within slipstream range to gain some lap time going down the straight, and by the looks of it, he's gained a 10th going down the straight. So if he gains another 10th, he will catch up to Max Verstappen and get DRS. So this is coming right down to the wire now. 3 laps remaining on this race. Well, 2 and a third laps remaining of this race, but yeah, we have team radio from Carlos Sainz. Let's listen to what he has to say. He's currently still battling Valtteri Bottas, so here we go.
And Bottas 0.9 behind with DRS. No more strikes at turn 6. No more strikes at turn 6.
Yeah, so they are Ferrari are saying Bottas is behind and he's got DRS, so you need to watch out. But I think Max Verstappen will be the driver that needs to watch out. Hamilton now 1.2 seconds behind him, gaining down the straight. He will be within slipstream range and DRS range maybe if he hooks up this perfect sector 1. Who knows what happens now? 17k live viewers. I've just got an image of the gap between Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. There's Max, there's Lewis, very, very close to each other, literally 1 corner away from each other. And yeah, just get some popcorn, guys, because this is 2 laps left now. Hamilton is closing up, and maybe, and just maybe, we'll get DRS going down the back straight. Here we go then. This is it. 1.3 seconds going through the DRS detection point, not close enough. But Hamilton, I mean, Verstappen is coming up on Mick Schumacher for traffic. Mick Schumacher might help out Max Verstappen or might hinder Max Verstappen in this race here because, yeah, there's a bit of traffic for Max Verstappen. He might give Max Verstappen a bit of a tow in DRS, or he might block Max Verstappen and let Lewis Hamilton get by. Who knows what will happen now? Let's hope Mick does not get in the way because we don't want our battle ruined by a back marker. All right then. This is it. Verstappen, I think, is going to get past Mick Schumacher on the next 2 corners or so. And yeah, all right. Just a little update on any of you Kimi fans. This was just Kimi in the gravel at turn 6. Had a bit of a spin. So yeah, bit unfortunate for him. Verstappen has got past Mick, and Mick has also let by Hamilton. Hamilton's got DRS range. It's the final lap of this race, guys. Final lap of this race. Hamilton has got DRS going down this straight. Okay, so here we go. Going into turn 1, Hamilton is tucked into the DRS and the slipstream, but it's not close enough to Max Verstappen to get it, to make a move into turn 1. He has got this final sector. He's got the first sector now to absolutely nail to perfection if he wants to then stay within the DRS range of Max Verstappen. So here they are, going through turn 3, 4, and 5, very smooth on the accelerator, on the steering, sorry, and then a little dab of the brakes for turn number 6, flick it into the right, shift down 2 gears, braking again left, right for the drivers, making sure not to extend track limits at turn number 9. Verstappen sets a purple first sector, so he has definitely realised that Hamilton was in DRS range and has picked up the pace significantly. Hamilton did not get the DRS range, did not guess the DRS point, so he has not got DRS going down the straight. 1.2 seconds is a gap. He will have the slipstream, but I don't think it will be strong enough going down the straight. He is tucked in right into the slipstream. 1.1 seconds is a gap. He is gaining, but he is still not close enough going into this corner. 9/10 now, and this is it then. The final lap of the race, Hamilton does not make the move into turn 12, so unless there's a catastrophic mistake from Max Verstappen coming out one of these corners, he is holding a 1 second lead over Lewis Hamilton at the lead of this race. We're at 18,000 live viewers. That's double my previous record. Wow. So Hamilton now 9/10 behind Max Verstappen. In fact, going through the final 2 corners. Will he make the move into the final corner? No, he does not. Max Verstappen crosses the line to win the 2021 US Grand Prix. What a drive and what a race. 1.333 seconds between the two drivers. Absolutely intense racing from start to finish. And Max Verstappen takes the lead of this race and gets first place. That also just rhymed. Wow. And Hamilton is in second place on the podium, and then Perez 40 seconds behind, 40 seconds behind the two, is about to cross the line just now and take the final podium positions. So a very, very good race indeed. Also, guys, if you haven't checked out my Instagram and Twitter, in the description, I post random memes and stuff there, so be sure to do that. And there is also a Discord server in the description if you're interested in that. But this has been an absolutely epic race, and thank you everyone for tuning in. I'm going to be streaming all of the other F1 races till the end of the season, and yeah, all of these, I hope they're exciting as this one, because this was very, very good indeed. Hamilton was so close. He in fact got the DRS as well, but just could not hold it within the DRS range for the final straight. Yeah, it got so close and everyone was on the edge of their seats. But what an amazing race. Bottas now crosses the line in 6th place. He finally did get past Carlos Sainz just at the end of this race. But a double podium for the Red Bulls. And they have gained a lot of points on Mercedes on the constructors. And I think Verstappen, in fact, has gained even more points in his Drivers' Championship battle. Now, Max Verstappen, let's have an update on the Drivers' Championship. Here we are. Where is it? I can't even find it anymore. Telemetry. Where is it gone? Oh, here we are. So Max Verstappen now is 8 points ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Oh no, not 8. 6 points ahead of Lewis Hamilton in the Constructors' Championship. So, oh no, in the Drivers' Championship. Sorry. So, oh wait, no, never mind. He's 12 points ahead. I literally read the wrong number. He's 12 points ahead of Lewis Hamilton in... Oh, thank you for the donation as well. I completely missed that. Who was it? DCS Beamer. Thank you for the donation. Do appreciate all of the support. But yeah, so 12 point lead, sorry, for Max Verstappen in the Drivers' Championship. And I think I got the Supermax song somewhere here. I will play it because we've still got 10,000 people watching, which is absolutely ridiculous. But I will play the Supermax song if I can actually find out where it is. If I can find the file. Oh no! Oh, here it is. Is it gonna play? So, yeah, Supermax did get the race win. He's got the first place. Fastest lap went to Lewis Hamilton. But Christian Horner has just said it's big for us to beat Mercedes here. Gets the win, get the win against Lewis. So Lewis Hamilton did have the stat every single time he started second place at the US Grand Prix. He had gone on to win the race, but Max Verstappen destroyed that stat and has now took the win of this race. So Lewis Hamilton does not have that stat anymore. Yeah. All right then. We have team radio from Max Verstappen, the race winner. So let's listen to this. Here we go. All righty.
What a drive, Max. What a drive. Masterful. Well done, mate.
Yes, guys. Unbelievable.
Sheer class, Max. That was classy. What a drive. What a drive.
We did it. Great job, guys.
So that's what it is. Do appreciate all the support. I can't even say your name. Stacker New Zealand. I don't know how to say what your first name is, but yeah, thank you for the support, guys. Yuki did get in the points. So did Seb Vettel. So I'll have a little talk about what happened in the rest of the race, because we were basically just talking about Verstappen and Hamilton for like the last 20 laps. But everyone that's tuned in, do appreciate all the support, and as always, I will be streaming the next race. I don't know what even is the next race. I forgot. Oh, Mexico. Yep, I will be streaming the Mexico race. Yeah, looking forward to it. All right then. There has been no Lewis radio, in fact. Let's see. If there is any Lewis radio, I will play it, of course. But nothing that has come through just yet. Right. So, further down the field, we have Charles Leclerc, who had an absolutely epic drive all day. Just held that fourth place like it was... Like, I don't know, he was clinging on for dear life or something. But he that amazing drive from him, just getting fourth place, very important for Ferrari in the Constructors' Championship. And yeah, just a second separated Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton at the end of the flag, at the end of this race. So very, very close indeed. Ricciardo got a fifth place, very good drive from him, and looks to finally have got grips with the McLaren car with 5 races left to go. And it's going to be important for him to try and maximize all of the points he can get, because as I said before, it was 6 million euros between between third and fourth place. So yeah, 6 million euros. I think McLaren team is definitely going to want 6 million euros. So whichever team does go out and get that third place, is going to get those extra 6 million. So those drivers will be pushing to the absolute limit to try and get that. Valtteri Bottas made up 3 places in the entire race. So he started 9th, dropped down a few into 11th, in fact, before, and then has put himself up into 6th place by the end of this race. So a solid drive for him, but he still needed to get a bit more points higher up. And yeah. Alrighty. And then we have Carlos Sainz, who just unluckily lost out to Valtteri Bottas right at the end of this race. It really slipped under my nose. I didn't even see it because I was so focused on Hamilton and Verstappen. But Sainz lost the position to Valtteri Bottas right at the end of this race. Otherwise, he would have got 6th place. And then we have Lando Norris in 8th, having a bit of an off weekend, really. Not very good from him. Oh, well, compared to his usual standards, at least. And yeah. All right. Well, my initial predictions of it being, what was it? I think my initial predictions were Hamilton, Verstappen, Leclerc, or Verstappen, Hamilton, Leclerc. I wasn't that far off, but Perez got 3rd place. So, very good indeed. 12 points is quite a lot, in fact. But it can easily be switched around. So it's not like if Hamilton got 1st and Verstappen got 3rd, they would basically be equal again. So it's still very, very tight season between the two drivers, and everyone else was 40 seconds slower than the rest. So yeah, Perez 40 seconds behind Max Verstappen. So yeah. Hamilton really couldn't have done much more there because he'd closed the gap when he needed to, but the problem was that he found it too close to follow in the dirty air. Like at one point he had the DRS, but then going through sector 1, the dirty air was so strong he just couldn't get up. He couldn't get any closer to maintain the DRS zone for the next one. So yeah, all right then. Sergio Perez looks very, very tired because he lost access to his drinks. His drink system was sort of broken at the start of this race, but he didn't have any water through the entire race because he had a bit of an issue with his system, so he's pretty tired. But he does get 3rd place. So good job from Sergio Perez. And then we have who haven't we talking about? Yuki Tsunoda and Seb Vettel. Both drivers just sort of stuck it in 9th and 10th. Who knows what Pierre Gasly could have done if his engine hadn't given up, but yeah. But Yuki Tsunoda scored 9th place. I think that's where he started. I don't know who driver of the day is, in fact. I would let you know if I did, but unfortunately I don't know. Lewis Hamilton has just answered an interview question. So he's just said, firstly, congratulations to Max. They did a great job today. What a great crowd. To perform in front of you guys is such an honour. I think this is definitely our acceptance into the US. Yeah, I mean, F1 has such a big... I mean, NASCAR has such a big following, and IndyCar in Formula in the US with 400,000 fans at the race today. Absolutely crazy. And yeah. Also, I need to check how many subscribers we've got because, well, I think today's stream was pretty crazy. Oh, we're on 13k, 13.4k. Well, we're 4 subscribers away from 13.4k. So if you haven't subscribed, be sure to do so. But yeah, wow, what a race. Sergio Perez should be driver of the day for not drinking water throughout the race. Yeah, absolutely crazy from Sergio Perez. And yeah. All right then, wow, we've got 200k views on this stream. That's like double my highest ever. So yeah, very much record-breaking stream. But anyway, back to the point. We have Antonio Giovinazzi, Stroll, Raikkonen in 11th, 12th and 13th. And yeah, they sort of just had a meh race. Like, they weren't that quick, they weren't that slow, but just couldn't get into the points because of how strong the Ferraris and the Mercedes and the Red Bulls and the McLarens were. So yeah, can you show the picture of Lewis and Max's tires? Yeah, sure. Congrats on your record, mate. Thanks for streaming. No worries, guys. If you are checking out, then yeah, do appreciate all your support. And if I find an image of these guys' tires, then I will show them to you. There isn't anything on Twitter just yet, but yeah, when something does pop up, I will show you an image of the tires. But it was amazing racing today, and yeah, just cannot believe it. Very amazing race and weekend, and yeah, just absolutely amazing. Oh my god, my throat. I'm gonna have a bit of a drink and then we can carry on going further down the grid and let's see what everyone else talked about. All right. I don't think there's any Lewis radio. No. Yeah, I guess they just decided not to play it. Sergio Perez has just said, since lap 1, I had no water. I couldn't drink at all. By my second stint, I was finding it pretty difficult. Yeah, guys, so if you didn't know, F1 drivers, they lose around like 3 kilograms of like body mass throughout the race because of through just sweating. So they have to have some sort of water to stay hydrated and be able to focus in the race. So Sergio Perez did a very good job not having any water whatsoever throughout the entire race. Very good on him. Would you like to be an F1 commentator? Yeah, well, I hope so. If I could do that, then that'd be very, very cool. But yeah, Perez will be driver of the day for not drinking any water throughout the race. Yeah, who knows? Max Verstappen has just answered the interview question as well. The tyre wear was quite hard at this track. We went aggressive. I wasn't sure if it was going to work out, but super happy. It's amazing to be here. Hopefully we can do this for many years to come. So, Max Verstappen, just very, very happy indeed. Good job from his part, managing those tyres and being able to stay ahead of Lewis Hamilton for the race. And yeah, just a solid drive from him all weekend. Well, in fact, he was struggling, at the start of this weekend. But now he picked up the pace in Q3 and then just never lost it after that. Yeah. All right, further down the field, we have Russell and Latifi. Russell started 20th, in fact, I think. So he gained 6 positions up into 14th. So good job from Russell. Latifi Latifi was 15th, had a bit of a horrible race start, so fair enough. The two Williams sort of having a bad starting situation at the race, so they're in 14th, 15th, not in a point scoring position, but there they are. Then the two Haas cars, Mick Schumacher and then Nikita Mazepin. Nikita Mazepin a full 75 seconds behind Mick Schumacher, so 75 seconds slower over a 56 lap race. So yeah, not the best job from Nikita Mazepin, and yeah, that's why he's in last place. And then the retirees were Alonso, Ocon and Gasly. Yeah, both Alpines decided to retire because they were just having they were just putting unnecessary wear on their car, and they decided that, well, we might as well just save our engines rather than driving around for no points. Yeah. Why was Carlos getting slower and slower? I think Carlos, the Ferrari sort of struggles with tyre wear. It did in 2020. They heat up their tyres very, very quickly, but then they also wear them out very, very quickly as well. So I think towards the end of the stint, Carlos Sainz, his tyres fell off. Leclerc probably had his tyres fall off as well, but Leclerc was 25 seconds ahead of Ricciardo, so it didn't really matter. And yeah, so the battle at the front, McLaren are leading Ferrari by 3.5 points in the Constructors' Championship. So it could not get any closer for the third place in the Constructors. And then I think in the Constructors for the lead of the Constructors' Championship, I think it's now 14 points. Between Red Bull and Mercedes, and before it was 30 points, so they've halved it now, which was very, very good indeed. And yeah, all right then, so that has been an absolutely amazing record-breaking stream, like 2 times as many viewers as I previously got. That is absolutely epic. Like, wow, I didn't even believe that could even happen. You are an F1 broadcaster. Kudos to you. Well, do appreciate it, guys. Yeah, very, very lovely indeed. Did we hit 13.4k subs? Oh, we did, yeah. I mean, we might even hit 13.5. All right then. Thank you, Naket Cortica, and Lee Martin and Polaris U. Oh, is it 19 points between Red Bull and Merc? Okay, well, yeah. Well, I mean, they still reduced it by 10 points, which is still pretty good for the Red Bull team, isn't it? And there's still 4 races left to go, so there is still a chance for those guys to well, get up and well, win the Constructors and the drivers. Verstappen has a 14-point lead in the drivers, so very, very good indeed for him, going into the final 4 races of the season. Yeah. Wow, just what a stream. I can't even believe it. So let's see, is there anything else? If any of you guys were wondering, their Shaq has just turned up in, like, I don't even know what this is, but he has turned up with the trophies in his hand, so to present the trophies. So yeah, if any of you guys are interested in how Shaq is presenting the trophies to the drivers, that's what's happened. Yeah, wow, what a stream. If you guys have any questions, then be sure to drop them in the chat now. And also, because I'm not doing a face reveal, do you guys want to see a setup tour? I mean, there's like literally just one table as my setup, but if you guys do want to see that, then sure, let me know in the chat. And yeah, and are you interested in the fact that there's a Kimi Räikkönen giveaway at the end of the season? Any of you guys could win a Kimi Räikkönen cap. So yeah. Great stream, mate. Being here for the last couple of races. Love it. Thanks, Master Puppet. That would be cool. He's in it for the long run. No, yeah, it's true. As Lewis Hamilton famously said, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And then Lewis Hamilton also proceeded to just lock up and lose 20 places. But yeah, there's only 4 races left though. So this marathon is turning closer and closer into a sprint. And yeah, we'll find out what happens. Wow, what a stream. Can't Can't believe it. And what a race as well. I mean, 1.3 seconds gap between the two drivers at the front. Absolutely epic. Okay, so Mercedes is on 360.5 and Red Bull is on 437.5. Okay, so 460 and 375. So what's that? Like, I can't even do mental maths in my head anymore. 12.5? Yeah, 12.5. Or is that 22.5? Oh, I don't even know. It's 22.5. See you in Mexico. When's the next race? There are 4 more races to go. The next race is in Mexico, and then I think we have Saudi Arabia. Oh no, Saudi Arabia, Qatar. Wait, I'll just double check how many races there are left. So we have Mexico, Brazil, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Abu Dhabi. So there's 5 races left. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, you're from Brazil. Well, there's an F1 race very, very soon. Where's the F1 wrap-up show on YouTube? I don't know if they have an F1 wrap-up show, but there probably will be. It'll be on the official F1 channel. Yeah, 5 more races to go. Mexico, Brazil, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and Abu Dhabi. 5 races to go, and yeah, very, very exciting championship. Since lap 1, I had no water, yeah. Sergio Perez did a very good job indeed with no water, but he did finish up 42 seconds behind Max Verstappen. So, yeah, wow. That just shows the solid pace that these front-running teams, front-running drivers, Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton have. But yeah. All right then, guys. It's been absolutely wonderful commentating to you guys today. Yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. And I'll be streaming for Mexico, so be sure you're subscribed and got the notifications on and stuff. And what was I going to say? Oh yeah, my Instagram and Discord and Twitter are in the description. F1_gamer_5 on Instagram and Twitter. And yeah, I will. Thank you for tuning in today. And I will have a nice morning, day, afternoon, evening. Oh, what's the one I missed? Oh no, night. Oh yeah, have a good night. Depending on where you are in the world. And I will see you all in 2 weeks' time.